Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's the correct microphone. So I'll do the introduction again once I get the other microphone working. This is why we end up with some silent movies.
Yeah, because...
Put it in black and white.
Everything went silent and stopped at my end.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes. Windows decided to update itself somewhere and turns everything off.
Can you hear us now?
Not yet, because it has tied in two of my microphones together to the same source.
Oh no.
And I'm trying to fix it. There we go. I tap the microphone to make sure I can tell which one is moving. It's a simple way of doing it. And I looked in there, no inputs. Hopefully last week had inputs.
Yes, well we've got voice there for at least one mic.
So top line is computer, second line is this one, third line is this one.
Cool.
So there are 3 inputs. This one's supposed to mean that if everyone's talking at the table, there's a good chance the recording will get my voice because I'm not as loud as everyone else.
Yeah.
Which can be an issue with crosstalk. So I'll restart that. It is session 119. Good thing I actually noticed we had dropped that bit. It is Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 5, slightly titled Escape from Alfheim. I'm sure that has absolutely no relevance to what's about to happen.
Oh.
So, online today we have Jeremy.
Good evening, all. We're not trying to escape Alfheim, we're just leaving it voluntarily on our way to somewhere else.
In a rapid transit mode.
We're going to casually walk away.
As fast as we can possibly move.
If because some rabble rousers cause a disruption in the local community, that's not us.
Yeah.
It's got absolutely nothing to do with you whatsoever, I'm sure.
But anyway, yes. I'm playing Thalaknima, the Atruaghin tribesman who has been blessed by Atruaghin himself to now take the form of a dragon, green dragon shapeshifter, so that he can better be a connector, a coordinator between his role as chief of the dragon clan and then clan chief of chiefs, as well as shaman of the clan, to bring all the Atruaghin clans together to help the current situation. Don't worry about the near future.
Yeah, so I'm sure there will be a accounting coming up very shortly.
Right.
As we'll have potentially a Braveheart moment.
So he gets to paint their face half blue.
At the table today we have Kesley.
Hello, I am playing Kupo Lani Awakash, who is by Lani, holder of many titles. Pretty sure that's a title in itself.
Yes. Write it down.
Human, fighter,
I'll put that one down for Ariadne today and see if she notices.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Just to see what she says.
Yes. Mackay says she looks like a relative of Moana.
Yes. If you could combine Moana and Maui, that would probably be what Lani looks like.
Pretty damn beefy.
Yeah, pretty sure. So, yeah. So, she's cool. Weapons master, fighter, has a cool thing that turns into a scythe. Time traveler.
Time starter.
Lots of cool things. Perhaps we're gonna live, I don't know, forever. We'll see. At this stage, it's a very, 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 very long time.
It is forever if no one remembers you and you have started to forget everyone else.
Exactly.
Yes.
Next up we have is Paul.
Who is
The person in trouble now.
conflicted. And also pretty boy diplomat. party healer and artillery piece, and also social and professional target of 2 entire peoples if anyone finds out what he's been up to.
Well, just because you are now spokesman for the common people.
3 groups of people. Yes, I'm. Yeah, definitely a diplomat. I persuade people to only hit me lightly.
Well, you are convincing those who are going to be left behind to fend for themselves to band together and do something more for their lives.
Yes, and I'm going to probably continue to either be the leader or be helping the leader. Oh dear.
And it was why the noble-ish elf was helping you last session, is because he's in the same boat. He's technically not a noble.
Yes. Yes, I've got the rank to pull this off, literally.
Oh, no matter what station she's in society, he will never be considered a noble.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the family line.
Yeah.
Great hero, celebrity,
But,
loved by all, not a noble.
that's
Equal champion.
yes. So, yeah, so basically I'm giving him legitimacy to do what he's doing,
And
which is perfectly fine by me.
that's part of the reason why he's beloved by the dwarves as well, is because he's not tied by the nobility issues.
Yes.
I'm sure the dwarves find it
One of,
frustrating.
one of the few elven heroes out there who is who loves all races.
Yes. I do remember he.
I would say it's
he's
pretty
got
rare between elves.
He's got dwarven made gear.
Well, it's not just dwarven made; it's dwarven and elven made at the same time.
Yes.
Both craftsmen worked on it together,
Impressive.
which says a lot of pull.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And especially considering it happened way before Lowell came around. One of the ancient history points.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh yes. There's
Well, only a young whippersnapper at 150 or so, isn't he?
130.
Yeah.
I started as beginning age for an elf. I started as a late teenager. It's basically the equivalent of a human 18-year-old. Even now, I'm only the equivalent of like 22.
Yeah.
Despite the fact I'm about the same age as the rest of the party combined.
Well, hey, with the 10 years that your 12 years he's been going, it's like he's aged 1 or 2 years from
Exactly.
the human perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even a couple, as it is. He's like effectively that 22.
Mentally, you're probably growing much more than you would have if you had to stay with the elves.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
for a start, leveling and developing other things has meant that I presently have 2 of my 3 mental stats are higher than most people can actually get to.
Well, but besides just that,
Yeah,
just the
just
sheer
the
mental
straight
stuff you've gone through.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You've had been stasis locked, you've travelled to another plane of existence, you've
At the
been...
beginning of time and watched it start.
Well, you've travelled to a node of time which, for that instance, was the beginning of time. There's more than one beginning of time. Each node has one of those.
That's fun. That's fun to think about.
Yeah.
It's
So
definitely
you could hardly whiny then.
So this is where you decide to go back and forth a little bit and go and set up 3 or 4 of them.
You meet someone and go, hey, last time I met them I thought bad thoughts.
Right.
And you're thinking those thoughts as you walk in.
Lonnie's going to learn to practice mindfulness. That's going to take her a few.
Next life.
Yes.
Developing some wisdom.
Yes. Lonnie, I think, has if you're doing a wisdom stat. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
No, your mental stats are pretty good for a fighter.
I was going to say, my mental stats are actually, I only have +1 for each.
It's still pretty good for a fighter.
Could be a lot worse.
But yeah, no, I improve my proficiencies and stuff, and that's how I make up for it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes.
So.
Okay, so last session, who wants to do the recap?
I don't know. I watched the video, but I don't have a good
Well, I can give you a very simple recap of it. They had spoken to Redrian, and he had suggested a few things that you might want to tie off that you hadn't done last time, such as help the dwarves by going and doing the task the king appointed to you and gave you the token for.
Yes.
Because he would be very unhappy if you showed up with the token not having done the task.
Yeah.
So that's our next step.
That would have definitely killed elven-dwarven relations for the rest of that king's career.
Yes. So yeah, we're doing the right thing.
Of which,
And
for dwarves,
And
it's a long time.
Well, I think he's young for a king, so he had another 200-300 years of kingship if he doesn't get slain in battle or by an assassin.
yeah.
So yeah, he has a lot behind him.
Yeah.
I will say we're leaving Alfheim at a great rate of knots.
They had a meet-up with an awards ceremony where a bunch of people got awards. Lani was busy elsewhere at the time, so it didn't end up with the award for the Broken Fort. May have one sitting with Redrian for all she knows, but and also didn't get it presented by Dracnomar. So you missed out on that presentation.
Darn. The person that I hang out with all the time presenting me with an award when he could just be like, hey, here you go.
Well, it was a big ceremony, and then Dracnomar went and met all the injured and retired soldiers who survived but couldn't stay in the army. So while the master was listed as wiping out so many people, some of the people wiped out were actually taken out of active duty, unable to return.
Mm.
So that was as good as dead as far as the numbers were concerned.
Yeah, it
So,
really is.
he got to make sure that they all got looked after, which is something that has made him and his people far more liked than some others.
Yep.
They definitely do like Dracnomar more than they like the dwarves, for instance, who packed up and left.
Yep.
More than they like the elves, who packed up and left.
Yep.
More than they like the halflings, who just scare the crap out of them.
Well, that's fair. They keep sort of waving cooking tools in their direction, looking hungry.
Well, Darrekin has many stories of loss of stuff being shipped due to halfling pirates. The halflings don't target Darrekin ships,
No.
but if that's the only ship available and they're targeting something,
They'll, yeah, sort of, yeah, free. Let's get some practice in.
though unlike Theatin ships, halfling pirates who attack a Darrekin ship fly the black flag,
Right.
and it switches over to red when it's Theatin.
Yes.
That they never give quarters.
Mm.
It is a to the death battle.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, they know that Theatians are going to slaughter them if they.
It's not that. It's
it's
a retribution.
Yeah.
It's such a big racial retribution for what the Theatins did.
Yeah.
That even Mackay would jump on their ship and do the same thing.
Mm.
Yep.
Having brutalized the Erendi nations as much as the halflings.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as good as they are for what they've done, creating the Erendi kingdom, that's it.
Yes.
That they created the kingdom, and they give them that much credit and saying, now we know how to beat you better.
Yes.
So with some of those things going on, they then decided to travel to Alfheim because, unbeknownst to them, Lani went through ahead of them and broke the portal.
Sorry.
Well, Redgreen sent you to break the portal.
Sorry, not sorry. Then.
Sorry, not
It's very
sorry.
sad. It was deliberately broken.
You're welcome.
Because if Alfheim falls, then it's basically a connecting point to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You got to break the one that the Master had as well, but they didn't hear about that one. So he wasn't able to then repurpose the portal so he could jump directly to Alfheim Town.
Yep.
Could you imagine oh look, someone's left me a doorway.
Yeah.
What a silly
Oh, we have to stop.
mistake.
We have to stop the bastard from reaching Alfheim. Wait, did she close the door? Yeah.
Even though it is limited to those that Redrine has approved of,
Yeah.
there's no
That
guarantee
can be
someone
gone
can't subvert it.
Yes.
Yes.
And if anyone can subvert it, a spellcasting character at questing level
Yeah.
Yep.
is definitely amongst those.
And you know this can be done because I can do horrible things with any magic item. I could do that with a portal. Yeah. Actually, I could.
So each
Because
of the
portal
portals,
counts as a magic item. I could fake that portal and it would let me through it.
yeah, each of the portals has a destruction mechanism,
Yeah.
Self-destruct.
different on each of them.
Mm. Yes. So you can't break it by learning how one of them works.
And so Lani was told how to break 2 of them.
Nice.
Yep. Cool. So I was sent ahead and I did that.
Yep.
Nice.
And
I
so
love destroying things. That's fine.
while you're doing that, the rest of the group travelled and ran into Drowsel teaching the soldiers how to fight. Because the new recruits are 90% green.
Mm. And all scaled.
And
Nice.
this was a older Drowsel from what they could tell because he was talking differently.
Yeah.
And less
All
jovial.
sentences? Oh, interesting.
Yes.
When he spoke, it was basically making points and then ignoring you.
Yeah.
Mm.
The war's got him down.
Yes. Much clearer statements, but not playful. Not at all.
And so they travelled into Alfheim, had a meeting with the Wild Fae that turned out to be beneficial for them, even though it was almost a complete balls up.
I was gonna say it sounded a little like a dinner with Hannibal Lecter.
Yes. That's actually a really good description. Hannibal Lecter would have fit right in.
Because finding out that the Fae were going insane due to being disconnected from their plane,
Yeah.
and that Eve eats those Fae.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are dark fae who are made worse by not
By
being
not having
connected
the
to this.
connection.
Oh no, that they weren't dark Fae, they were Wild Fae.
Which is
Oh, they were,
Yeah,
okay.
face.
They were functionally they were made dark fae.
Yeah, they weren't made dark Fae, they were just going nuts.
So,
Yeah, which is basically what a dark fae is. It's a
And
fae
so
that's nuts.
the dark Fae themselves were Eve is one that eats the Wild Fae.
Yeah.
That's his main food source.
Mm.
Nice.
Is fairy dragons.
That's a fairy
That
dragon
was a
found out.
bit dark finding that out.
Well, the fairy dragon thought so too, and I looked over and went, ah.
I'll stay over here, thank you very much.
So when I described it to the party, it was like, party was like,
Yeah. Bloop. Rango bloop.
because it was in the middle of the introduction of the new player.
So it's like, oh, oops.
And that's when they realised that Eve can pretty much mimic whatever he's about to eat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He can literally turn into its shadow and consume it
Mm-hmm.
without touching it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Mm.
It's actually really cool.
Yes, it also means nothing can contaminate him while he's consuming it.
So he starts mimicking the pseudo dragons, the fairy dragon shapes, just to start playing with it. Then after that, they reached Alfheim town, found that Redrian's inn was suffering major destruction.
Part of it had fallen in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the closing of the portal, bad stuff had happened, and they blamed it on Lani.
I almost it. I did that.
You weren't there at the time, so they...
One of the padlocks and they
Yeah.
Redrian said, destroy the portal. I did that. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It also means that whatever happens in the infighting in Alfheim, there's no way for them to use his magic to alter the flow of events.
Yeah, because they could
That's
use
safer
that,
for them.
because they could use that portal as power source.
Yeah, no, but that's actually it's safer for
So
them
you
in the
were
long run. They
very
they
effective.
shouldn't be using regenerative magic, to be honest. So.
And his idea is that his magic is more to save people than to manipulate people. And if it has a chance of manipulating people, he just shuts it down.
Yup.
That's why only his forces can use it.
Yeah.
And they have to have a purpose to use it.
Yep.
So using it just because you can is a good chance it might not have all
Yeah.
reviewing it.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's perverting its use.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's perverting its cause, if not its use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm sure Laval would build into things as well.
Yes.
Because magic unchecked is one of the dangers of the world.
Yep. Yeah.
Because with the sphere of energy going stupid, and the release of the primal titans causing everything to be
Yeah.
out of standard laws.
Yes. And I look at this and go, and some of these gods complain about technology. Now, I know that part of the root cause of the war is technology, but it's people reacting to the technology is about half the problem.
It's like a knee-jerk reaction.
Exactly.
And Ilsendul is one of those conspirators who say technology is bad.
Yes.
Because he was alive during the Black War.
Yep. Yeah.
And like I said,
And
Immortals generally, by definition, are pretty set in their ways.
well, it's not so much that too. It's these people.
They're generally old and crotchety.
These people, and they are people, are pretty well all, not all, but pretty well all, ex-mortals. Almost all of them still react like mortals. They react the way normal people do. And he's overreacted when he saw Blackmore go full, and he's gone, technology is bad, by overgeneralizing.
Yeah.
Well, he
And he's been
actually...
overgeneralizing for what, 2,000, 3,000 years?
So, from Ilsendul's perspective, he said it was bad before it went full.
Yeah.
And he led the Crusades to leave that place,
Yep.
and he's the reason elves survived.
Yes, but it's still an overreaction by overgeneralizing,
It is.
and that's not a statement of wisdom, and it makes him look bad.
A lot of stuff, each god looks
Yeah.
bad for its
I know.
doggedness.
Yeah,
And they
because
would,
they act like people.
and I am putting them forward as faulty gods,
Yeah.
not
No, I'm not. I'm not saying.
omniscient.
I'm not saying your depiction of them is bad, is it? I'm saying they're not what they say they are.
And-
They're just, in many respects, they are just really freaking powerful people.
And I do like that interpretation of it, because that wasn't
Yeah.
what I was intending.
Yeah.
I wasn't intending on, yes, God solves everything. No, God messes it up
No.
more than you know.
Well, any setting, or most settings that have gods, and fantasy settings generally do, have this sort of thing. It's just in Mystara, it's more in your face.
That's,
But things like a lot of the stuff in D&D that directly involves the gods, they act like people. Okay, they act like Munchkin adventurers, but they act like people. At the time of troubles in
It's a
realms.
very ancient mythology process. The Norse gods, the Greek gods,
The
the
Nor-
Roman gods,
Yeah, they're
are all effectively
yeah, they're people.
overly powerful people.
Yeah. Actually, even not even them. You have a look at, say, the Bible. You've got to actually split Old Testament and New Testament. But the Old Testament God is,
Oh yeah.
he's a volcano and storm god, and he's a person.
Mm-hmm.
New Testament one is a bit different, but I still wouldn't like to be around you.
So
okay, so once they had gotten there, they decided to go into town and try to see what's the go. They made it to the Dwarven Quarter and spoke to what turned out to be the Dwarven representative of Rockholm,
Yep.
who had one of the master crafters of the elves with him.
Yep. Who's functionally an exile from the Dwarven Kingdom too.
The dwarf is, yes.
Yeah. Well,
The-
the other one can't be.
Well, could
He's
be.
not a dwarf.
Well, the reason but technically he's not actually an exile. He's just not considered a dwarf.
Yeah, true. So he's an exile the same way the elf is. Sorry, he's not an exile the same way the elf is not an exile. They're not allowed in.
Well, it's technically his homeland, but
Yeah,
because he's
right.
from a clan of farmers,
He's a
he has
surface.
no standing in Dwarven society.
Yeah.
Okay.
So his whole clan was created as a joke in the Dwarven Senate.
Yes. And he's
Interesting.
taken it serious.
I know the clan actually formed out of that joke
Yeah.
of the Dwarven outcasts going, let's actually make a clan out of
Yeah.
this.
That's right.
And
It was him and the clan, and they all take it serious.
And they take it serious, even though they're treated as lesser people, but they are still a full clan.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they have the capabilities of a full clan.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You made it a joke. We're making it serious.
And the Dwarven God has blessed them with their own forge of power, which means they are literally a clan.
Nice.
A full
Yeah.
clan has to have a forge of power.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So they're a clan the same way I'm a clan.
Okay.
As a major clan, once you plant the tree, you're a major clan.
Yeah.
Until you plant the tree, you're a minor clan.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Yeah.
It's not safe to plant that tree yet.
That is true. That was where making the distinction between the two of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Sense.
a family clan is nice,
Yeah.
but a relic clan is the linchpin of their societies.
Mm.
Makes sense.
Okay,
Which
so
helps
with that, they also met the people's hero of Alfheim, who was more jovial than most elves in the sense of he'll talk to everyone. There's
Yes.
no one beneath him in his appearance, speech, or kindness.
Yep. He's a really nice guy, and everyone loves him for it.
But he takes his job super seriously.
Another thing they love him for.
Because his job is to protect the nation, not the people, not the royalty, not the nobility, not the guilds, not all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
but the nation. And he considers the nation is made up by the people.
Yeah.
And
The
so-
nation is not land.
If there's no people, there's no nation.
Yeah.
Well, did he have a name?
He did have a name. I
did?
think it's Elon Tree Life. I think it's called.
I think
Sounds
if you
right.
put that into human, it's going to be Jason Statham, and he's a beekeeper. That was literally the plot of the movie.
That's yeah. Yeah.
That was a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. But if that's yeah.
Do you have the book
Yes,
somewhere?
the
with
thing-
you?
Oh,
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's sort of cross Jason Statham with Batman.
yeah.
There's basically this guy.
It's the hero that Alpha deserves.
Yeah. The thing is,
Yeah.
it's the Jason more than
So
Jason
it is.
Statham, people
It
like
is. Arleon Tree Life. So ARLOEN Tree Life.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few who wears full plate mithril, but the only one that is known to wear one with both Elven and Dwarven clan markings on it that are literally bestowed upon him.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he's an actual representative of his clan, just that he's not nobility.
Yeah.
It's still really cool.
Because champions is champion.
He actually has refused noble titles because he doesn't believe in them.
Yeah.
See?
He's willing to use mine.
Beekeeper.
Yes. He's willing to use my title because I can back up what he's doing.
Yeah.
And the
Well, the book I talked about the element of he said a lot of how nobility act.
oh
And
yeah.
like, I'm not there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You see men and go, well, he's not much like them either, and he's willing to go along with this. So hey, let's go and do something spectacular.
Unlike many elves, he spent most of his career abroad, and has spent like the last 50 to 100 years protecting the forests.
pretty cool.
So I ended up
So
managing.
talked with him, and then
And
what did you end up
then
doing? You ended up talking
then
to
Lowell went into the town
Oh.
square to talk to the people and use
And-
the royal broadcasting system.
and burnt it out. It was basically a cross between a
Like the holodeck broadcasting system from Star Wars.
I was thinking more that bloody what's his damn name? Black American Reverend Civil Rights
Martin Luther King?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Yep.
Martin Luther King speech on a Queen stage.
There you go.
That's what I ended up doing, and it burnt the stage out.
He also broadcasted it to every single elven community in the world.
Yeah.
No, this is actually playing.
We're doing recap of the last session. It's just been a while.
Yeah, they're just catching up
yeah.
on the recording and catching me up as well.
Because it burnt out because my sword was helping.
Because technically,
the sword was vibrating.
a noble could use the stage and broadcast to a location. A part of the royal family could actually broadcast to the nation. And he is technically a clan champion, and he counts as the other two.
Yeah.
So he sort of broadcasts to all the elven communities across the world.
Plus, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, an effect that can have been used by the sword to help with that is my own invocation on messing with magic items.
Yeah.
Because even without the sword, I could have, if I thought about doing it, if I knew that could be done, I'd have gone, I'm going to take this thing out and persuade it that I'm actually a real loyal.
And he activated the equivalent of final message to the elves.
Yeah.
Which basically it was.
So now,
given the circumstances.
So now is everyone heading out?
Then they
ran away.
ran away, ran into the halfling diplomat who convinced them to take his boat that he'd spent 30 years making.
We'll try not to bend it.
And they jumped in the river and left the session there.
Yep. Yes, leaving our home at a great rate of knots. With the halfling left us in his boat because we had you and me.
Yep.
Actually, I think three.
I was going to say 3 of us have boat
skills.
Yeah.
Because he was going to go and make the diversion to allow us to escape.
And Alion had opened the gate for the river, and just gave them away as they rode the river out of the city.
Yep.
Because he technically would have had to stop Lowell if he had been in the town square at the time.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And he also gave the halfling a minion summoning horn to do the diversion with.
Well, it was basically the all hell's broken loose. You need to get authorities here.
Yeah.
Sort of horn.
Gotcha. So we had to
the
escape out of there, and now.
And he was doing that over there.
They are.
So yes.
Walking their way out of the river, outside of the border.
And they hadn't met Lani in all that time.
Yeah.
Yup. I'm gonna find them and just be like, "Where are you guys?"
And she's going to come up from below decks.
Which would be a great place to introduce you from.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because you could have already been on the boat helping the halfling get it ready.
Yeah. Very easily.
And just happen to fall asleep during everything.
Yeah.
Hey, you've had a long week.
Yeah, well, he's
You know,
waiting.
blowing stuff up takes a lot of energy out of you.
Yes, especially when you're doing it yourself.
Follow the instructions. I press this here, replace this wire here, and then cut it
run.
just so.
And then run like buggery.
I think I might have cut it a little too much. But that's why I exploded a little bit more. But it's fine.
Running.
Well, he had never destroyed any until recently, so...
It was new.
Yeah. Considering he technically has one in hell at the moment.
Oh.
There you go.
That's an interesting place to put one.
Well, the city that the Will Tree dropped on went into hell.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it technically has one of his.
That's true. That is
A lot of
still
places. It's a wonderful place to visit. You don't want to live there. You don't want to visit.
Yeah. Yes, it's like Elturel in Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. Great place to have come from. That's the only thing you want to do.
So yeah, Lottie will come aboard, kind of yawning a bit, and just like, "Oh, are we heading out of here?" Hey guys!
You can hear all the horns in the distance. The
horns would have
yelling.
woken you up.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
"What on earth?
Yeah.
You guys ready? Are we
yeah.
are we heading out? Can we go now?"
Yeah. Actually, she would have had to have got up because one, that horn can't be slept through, and two, it calls you. It calls you present.
I would have to. I would have to.
So you come up on deck and go. I don't have to step any further. Yeah, guys.
Where you come up on deck and find that the boat that you've been resting on is actually moving.
Yeah, I'm just like.
And the city's behind you, and you don't. Well, I don't quite have to help them now.
Looks like I'm good. Sounds like a them problem.
Yes.
Alrighty. So,
welcome and good afternoon.
which way are we heading?
Forwards.
Wait, did we have directions on how to get to the Underdark?
Yes.
Yep, it was
We
follow
had
the
a map.
rivers of Alfheim. They all go to the same space.
Yep.
Cool. Then
You
we'll
go to there.
navigate
When you fall into the whirlpool, when you fall into the whirlpool, you're on your way.
Got it.
Yes. We're going to try and not have the boat go in there though.
Oh no, technically you want the boat to go in there too.
Yeah.
Because
I think we're riding the boat all the way down.
We need to survive. We need the boat to get down there. Yeah.
because the river goes directly to where you want to go in the Shadowlands.
So we want to go. Yeah, we want to go down. So we're going north up to the swirly bit.
Mm-hmm. The swirly bit is called the Sompen Weir. It is monster central of Alfheim.
Oh, fun.
Every monster in Alfheim is funneled to that one spot. That's not killed on the way.
They're definitely not gonna
So-
be crazy if
Big-
they're fey at all.
So and
Most of them are aberrations or planar
Oh,
creatures.
okay.
So they're just
We still
really,
don't like them.
Well, yeah. So they're not insane. They're just mad.
Hmm.
Actually, aberrations, by definition, aberrations are basically mad.
Yeah.
They'd be wild up by the dark, by the wild, the
Well,
bad
that's
trade.
it. They're mad and mad. Mad squared. Right. So yeah, be ready to shoot at things on the way in.
Okay, so the boat that you're on doesn't seem to be propelled by wind or oars.
Oh, something presumably below decks makes it go.
And it has absolutely no technology in it.
Magic. We've had a few of those.
You have.
Yes. Yeah, there's a couple of things like a keel that will propel your boat.
There are many
like
things
that.
that can propel it.
Yes. Oh yeah, the things like it. It's a lot of different ways to do what he's doing that don't involve a diesel engine and umbrella. This is where you find out it's a magically powered MHD turbine.
Well, it does seem to suck water in and use it to push itself forward.
That's fair.
Huh, nice.
I can think of at least 3 different magic ways to do that.
There are many ways to do it.
There are.
And it doesn't read as magic.
A halfling maze. Sounds almost gnomish. If that works.
Doesn't look technological and doesn't read as magic. Halflings are known to have the ability to do stuff that doesn't read as magic.
They
That's
persuade-
why
I
they're
think-
great at boats.
Yeah.
Well, you can't detect them coming,
Yeah.
and magic generally doesn't work on their vehicles either.
They're great at boats.
I get the impression they're really good at persuading elementals to do things without using magic.
They also have the ability to say no and stop magical attacks in their track.
Like, nah.
Yeah, although I think that only works in the 5 Shires.
It's supposed to only work in the 5 Shires.
Supposed to. But at the moment,
It,
anyway.
they actually state it only works in the Face Shire, so no one else will expect it to happen elsewhere.
Well, there's that too.
They are a little tricksy.
They rarely tell everyone the whole truth. They learned that from elves.
Yes. Yeah. Well, considering that when you're very small, or at least mostly small, there's only so many classes you can actually go into, and most of them are spellcaster and rogue.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are quite a few barbarians in there.
Yeah, but they're rare.
Okay, so the
Like pretty good assassins.
they do make very good
That's a-
assassins.
Sub bit of rogue,
Yeah,
though.
but still good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so the boat is moving through the river faster than you'd expect it to,
Mm-hmm.
but you do have to control it from a rudder system.
Yep,
Okay.
that's fine. We're all used to learning new craft, and there's 3 of us,
So it
so
works the same as most crafts you've used. They've simplified the rudder somewhat.
yeah, it's simplified. You don't have to fiddle around with a sail. I like this. I want to. Or just one bigger one that flies.
I'm sure you can convince them to build one of those at some point.
Quite probably. That would be quite a thing.
There's a good chance it will only work during moonlight.
How many elves do I care?
To take what?
Yes.
Well, the higher halfling magic only works in moonlight,
Mm.
whereas the high elven magic works in starlight,
Hmm.
and the high dwarven magic works in darkness.
Yep.
That's cool.
Sunlight doesn't work on the big stuff.
Mm.
Well, sorry, sunlight counts as the big stuff because it's its own big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, as it's barreling through the water, you see signs of damage in the trees along the riverbanks.
Yeah. Hmm.
Things that would crash into.
It looks as if things have been climbing the trees.
Hmm.
Love that. That's great. Keeping a lookout.
Well, considering most of the trees are about 100 to 200 feet in diameter along the riverbank,
Yeah.
And have people living up them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a few of them have actually been snapped.
Mm. Oh. Ow, I don't want to meet something who can do that.
What would have been through here that has done that is a good question.
Giants,
Primordials?
primordials, dragons, dragon primordials.
Who knows?
Probably all.
Well, they said they have many things of horror in the forest, which is why
Yeah.
they travel by the elven highways up in the trees,
Yes.
which are currently being disassembled.
Yes.
Because they're leaving.
Yes. And they're not silly.
Hmm.
So the elven paths were the only safe way to travel through Alpine.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Any other path you took was beware.
Dangerous on the ground kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Which is why the actual roads are quite carefully cleared for a distance away from them.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, so yes, as you're passing along, you see much debris in the river up ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Do not approach it too closely. If it's blocking the river, we'll have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is obviously fast enough we can do that.
Ooh, coffee.
Not being more frothy than coffee, but...
It's okay, I don't mind.
Comes to you. Yes, please.
Sure, yeah, thank you.
No, unfortunately, our main coffee machine made a break for freedom recently.
We can donate the coffee machine back. Thankfully.
Yes.
So we need to get that fixed at some point or replaced.
Yeah.
So you see rising out of the water before you what appears to be a crocodile head.
Oh, okay.
As if the head of the crocodile was bigger than the boat.
Right. So, yeah. Stop before we get to that. Jeremy, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, Timber was on what probably is the I'm assuming it's not a crow's nest on this thing, so it'll be the bow of the boat type stuff. So
Yeah,
It doesn't sound like the
the
it's too small. Yeah.
and I guess we will aim to dissuade the crocodile.
Okay.
Typically, you just try to go make yourself really big and loud, or you run in a zigzag. That's the best I got. It's a crocodile. You're gonna get eaten. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
Except for fate and die.
Though, having been on the Isle of Dread, you recognize it more of dinosaur size.
It's a
And
Leopleurodon! A magical Leopleurodon!
a magical Spinosaurus.
It's a
Spinosaurus
Spinosaur.
makes a lot more
Okay,
sense.
I can see the shape of the skull from here at that angle. Yeah, it's a Spinosaur.
That looks cool.
You want to keep that one, don't you?
I do, it looks neat.
So it
Put that
is
down to the
gargantuan in size.
Yeah.
As you see the ridges coming up far enough back behind it to realize that's one animal.
Yeah, it's not a pack. It's just one.
And how wide's the river?
Not enough.
Wide enough that you can try to go around it, but you're not
Yeah.
sure you can outmove it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If we go to one side, it will just follow us.
And I'm going to ask for initiative.
Yep,
Yes.
I figured.
I'm going to outrange everything except those.
51 for Drachnema.
21 for Drachnema.
I thought you said 51 for a second, and
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
what?
like, what kind of bonuses do you have?
He has plot
sorry.
bonuses.
16 for Lonnie.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. First up, 12. Second up, I rolled a 1, so I get a point of point of inspiration.
That's fine.
I took that particular background thing because it's amusing. Meow! You want to be bossy? Come here, bossy. Come on.
Go in there and settle down.
Come
You
on.
can settle.
Come on. No. Come here. Come on. Good push. There we go.
He's looking a little happier.
Yeah. There you go. He's purring.
Yeah. Well, you can tell when he's unhappy. It's quite obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes,
No problem with me doing this too.
that means that Drachnema is the first one to act as you see this creature looking at you, and you realize that it has an intelligence to its look,
Oh dear.
and it doesn't look like a natural creature. Because the stories are anything coming into here is some form of corrupted creature from the Fey Dark or further.
Yeah. And yeah, basically anything nasty you see in Alfheim, it's going to be actually nasty. This one's also a smartass.
It may be classed as a beast, but it is not dumb.
It's an intelligent beast.
So what would Drachnema like to do, Jeremy?
Well, I suspect that it might actually understand the language.
You suspect it may understand the language.
But whether or not the language that I can actually describe or think of for the first time. So,
You would think Shadow Tongue would be a starting point, considering it's for the elemental dark creatures.
Yep.
which is different to the Shadowlands tongue,
Mm-hmm.
which is the common tongue for underground people.
That's right. Jack hasn't got either of those. So
Yes.
he's only got Terra to policies for that for a cup. So,
Yes.
Well, we will go with an arrow shot to as part of the go out of here. We're not the bit you're looking for. We're going to fight back.
Yes.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
And a book and one with advantage. I rolled 2 8. We get a total of 22.
Okay. Your arrow flies towards it and seems to incinerate on contact.
Oh.
But it was a perfect shot.
Yeah.
The water doesn't appear to be boiling around it.
Yeah, that'd be a first.
The water around it is murky in colour, but you thought that was just debris.
Right.
Right. But it's not going to be boiling.
Does not appear to be boiling, though.
Okay.
Maybe it corrupted your arrow so fast it just dissolved.
Okay. Basically yelling out in pretty Elven, the closest that you might think of, but creatures you might understand. Saying, go away, you don't want to mess with this here.
Okay, so as you look, it seems to breathe in some of the river
Oh.
and then spit it in your direction as you see shards of ice come flying towards you. As it does a ranged area effect attack.
Okay.
As each of them seem to be about 6 foot long shards of ice.
Yeah.
So everyone gets to make a reflex saving throw. Dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
I'll make someone roll for me.
Yep.
You gotta roll than I did. She got 15 on
Anyone?
dice.
Anyone?
So I don't know what her dex is, but 15 on dice.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Should be pretty good. How much did you get?
Hold on, I have to double check mine. Nope. I go to that page. Oh my gosh, I'm losing it. $19.
19. How much did Luau get?
21.
21. Okay, so
Really nice check on the advantage.
most of you got over 20. So those of you will take some damage.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have an ability to avoid taking damage.
What kind of damage is this?
This is cold.
I have something against it, I just read it.
I have a protection against not cold.
When using or affected by cold or force, you add proficiency bonus to damage or reduce damage taken and cause your eyes to glow
Oh,
blue
that's
until the
okay.
start of your next turn.
Elemental thing.
So my proficiency bonus is 4. Because it doesn't count.
Your proficiency bonus is 4 years.
Yeah. So it's whatever that is minus 4.
Okay.
Yes. I do not have a way of reducing cold. Actually, it's sort of. I've got water as an affinity.
Water as an infinity should reduce cold damage.
Yeah.
So just say it reduces it by, we'll say 4 at this
Yeah,
stage.
it's not going to be much.
So instead of taking 16 points of cold damage, you take
12.
you take 12 as a glancing blur.
Ow! Ow! I really wouldn't want to hit 4 forts. I'm presuming the boat has now got large chunks
Well,
of ice.
he did it over the top of the boat.
Yeah. Good thing it doesn't have sails.
And so Draktamar would also have taken 16 points of piercing, slashing damage. It counts as both.
Yeah.
Whereas Lani takes 28 with the -4.
So 28 total. 28,
That's-
so it would be
It
24.
would have been 32.
Oh, so
Yeah,
28
so
total.
double
yes.
16. Yeah.
Because my
And Lani gets to pick a limb. That limb is now immobilized with a shaft of
Spike
ice
through
through it that has turned rendered the limb useless.
So I get to both do healing and medical stuff.
Let's go with my not throwing arm.
Well, whichever arm it's in, that's now not your
And
throwing
you're a
arm.
fighter. You don't need your head, do you?
I know, right?
I don't know if he's plugged in.
It's
actually.
for
I don't
something.
know if I remembered to.
He was purring. He was obviously
think I
plugged in
did.
before.
No, I didn't plug him in.
Something
It's
small
okay.
was rotating.
He's
Yeah,
been doing
he's-
okay.
No,
He's-
it's okay.
He snuggled down well.
He's been doing pretty good.
You got complaining for a little bit till Paul picked him up.
Yeah.
You're just like, I've been picked up and put down. I can't complain anymore.
Well, especially since I then spent a minute stroking his back, and he was going, "Yeah, okay, no, you can keep doing that."
Really all he's
Yeah, yeah,
after.
yeah. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't want to be cuddled. He was willing to get picked up, but he wanted to be put down straight away.
Mm.
But
He
then-
usually
but then-
just wants attention.
Yeah, but then getting his back stroked for a while was, yeah, okay. Yeah, look, you got a week to stop doing that.
So yes, this creature has just done that ranged attack, and Lani is looking a little worse for wear.
Did,
Ow.
I get hit with my... did Paul roll for me? Or?
You did get a glancing
sorry.
blow, so you took 12
No.
points of damage because she also
Oh,
has
yeah,
water
she does,
affinity.
Yeah.
We didn't... Did we talk with this creature?
No,
Was
it just
Uh,
attacked.
Okay.
You tried talking to it,
Yeah.
realizing that it is probably one of the creatures that came out of a planar portal from the
Yep.
Fey Dark. They generally are a little bit on the insane side.
Yes.
Have
and-
we done initiative yet?
You have.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Jack Dimmock tried yelling out in Elven while firing a warning shot, but this is not the boat he wants.
Yes.
It shot over our boat, so it also kind of gave a warning shot.
Mm. Yes. He missed. Basically, he didn't aim at the boat. He aimed at the people on it.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
And so Lani's now up with one of the arms sort of held in position.
Yeah.
That's right. Love that. Love that I get to make decisions. Okay.
Decision. How loud are you going to yell?
So I heard Dracula try to speak Shadow Tongue.
I know he spoke Elven.
He spoke Elven.
Because he doesn't. I don't think he's.
No, Elven.
Yeah, he doesn't have shadow.
Yeah.
I do
Okay.
have Shadow Tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess first I'll try to say what do I want to try to say in Shadow Tongue?
We have cookies.
Like concrete creature we don't wish to harm, or we don't we come in peace. Please don't in Shadow Tongue.
Okay, give me a diplomacy
Cookies.
sort of roll.
Yes.
I'm sure you can diplomatize well.
Yes.
Not as well as some people.
But no, the cookies are great because can you imagine the master coming through and getting all these monsters
22.
as part of his army?
22. Okay, so you yell that out. He does seem to respond to you, though you actually think it's laughing at you.
Probably.
Now you get to make a Constitution saving throw.
Cause I have a thing in me. Oh
You got a lump of coal in
my
you.
god. Okay. Constitution 24.
Okay, you can see around the wounds where the ice has gone into you, it's starting to blacken.
Yeah, it's probably starting.
Well,
So,
it's
do I have any
not-
action?
You've heard of effects like this that will basically turn people to ice.
Yeah. It's not just ice, it's
Am I
corrupting
safe
ice too.
to like try to pull it out?
You'd most likely be breaking it or burning it off. If you wait too long to break it off, there goes your arm.
You probably would
This is
be.
this is why my first action is going to be
I was gonna
dealing
say,
with this.
I'm gonna look around the
Yeah.
boat and just be like, a fire, fire, please.
Yes, I saw.
That's gonna be, I think, the rest of my action, whatever I have left.
That's all good. Okay, so that brings us to Lowell.
who is going to approach Lani, and as I get to Lani, on the way to Lani, I'm going to do my Celestial Beam of Healing, because that's a minor action, so I can still do the healing check as well. So you're going, I should have got some D6s. Give you, how many can I do that many? Yeah, eek. Rolls. 15 points of healing.
And Lani gets to make another Constitution saving throw.
And then
15.
either medical attention or I try and
So
break the ice
you do
off.
notice that as you hit off a healing spell, the ice thickened.
Okay. Can I sort of pull that halfway through so it doesn't lose material?
It's thickened around the wound,
Right, so I'm going to have to...
on both sides of the wound.
Burn. Burn it. Burn it. Chop it
Yeah.
off.
So the next thing is going to be fire. Spend a spell point. Fire infused.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast on the ice itself.
Okay.
Carefully aimed away from the arm, so it's blasting upwards and away.
Give me an attack roll.
Do this with it. And I've got the medical skills to do it right. This
That's
is
why
this
I'm,
is-
that's why I'm giving you an attack roll instead of just saying
It's-
something happens.
Yes. So, do you want us an attack roll or a medicine check?
I'm going for an attack roll.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Well, spell casting.
Your aim must be true.
Yes, but I'm sort of adjacent, so it does help.
How are you proficient or an expert in medicine?
At this stage.
I'm trained.
And I'll give you I'll give you an inspiration dice
Yeah.
to.
I've also
What if I'm
I've also
proficient?
got specific training in trauma medicine.
Just one inspiration dice for this.
Okay. At least I get that.
If you had been an expert, I would have upgraded the dice.
Yeah.
Yes, I was working. Getting expertise in everything.
Well, you suggested it, so I was going to give you a bonus for it.
Cool.
And then we'll move over to Ariadne, who can introduce her character at that point, after you finish. So
We're
she-
just getting a lot of electric shocks just from trying to look up those spells.
Yeah. No, 26.
26. Okay, so yes,
At least
you
for the first hit. But I'll do that for the lot.
you do a pretty clean shot. You see the center of it burst up between Lani's arm and face, which flaming shards going up the side of her face.
That's
As
the head of it. Boom!
as the light inside the eye seems to go out.
Yep. Oh.
Oh, did you kill it?
Yeah, apparently magically activated ice or
You think healing magic would have just expanded the ice until Lani was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's dead now?
The ice that was in her arm has been
Yeah.
stopped.
Right, okay.
The creature that caused it with a spell attack.
Unfortunately,
It's still over
an
there.
act of pure love cannot save me. Unfortunately.
Maybe coffee and a cookie can.
But you feel like you can now start to. Your arm doesn't feel as cold,
Yeah.
but it still feels pretty messed up.
I would think so. Yeah.
So next round, I am going to do some healing on you. 'Cause, yeah.
Well, let's make sure it's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ariadne, introduce Calcrix when you can speak.
Sorry. Starting fragment. So I play Calcrix, the white dragon with the chest wings. And no voice. Well, normally a lot of voice, but not tonight. Accompanied by my plant-like friend Eve, who looks like a tiny creature of love and joy, except the emo version because she's black and greys. She loves to offer cookies to everyone, but she also eats fairy dragons, so it's a confusing time for her. If it's my turn,
It is your turn.
I'm not sure if I can do this, but my plan was to try to intimidate it. If the boat would take it, enlarge myself first, and then use jazz wings and roll.
Sure.
Can I give her context first?
Yep.
Context?
Okay. It is a gargantuan Spinosaurus. It took an arrow from Dracula and it burned up on contact.
Okay.
And I tried speaking to it in Shadow Tongue, which did work. It did understand that, but it kind of left.
And then did a ice attack on the body.
Yeah. Well, it did ice attack and
Just
then
keeping
ice
in
attack.
mind that this also worked when I was a dwarf-sized creature to a similar creature on the Dread Island, and it ran from me.
That one was That one was giant size, not gargantuan.
Yeah.
So
Tasha's hideous laughter might be a funny effect to throw at it at this point.
I could try doing that.
Ooh.
But that's your choice. If you said you never had a chance to use it.
No, I haven't had a chance to do it.
Wait,
I
how
could-
big can Calcrix get?
Well, she can enlarge up to 2 sizes, so
Oh, that's
that
actually
would
pretty good.
make her.
Close, I think colossal in size, which
Yes.
is one step below
Still good.
gargantuan.
That's why I was thinking of trying
Also,
it first and then
you're
trying.
not going to take off because you're not going to fit on the boat if you go colossal.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm asking.
Leap up and
And
I-
with Calcrix being a dragon,
I don't know how many maneuvers it would burn and all that. If you're suggesting I cast Hideous Laughter first off, I can do that.
or you can make it
instead.
dance in the water, which would be also funny.
Yeah, I do have Irresistible Dance. See, I don't know how either of those work because I haven't used them yet. So, so Hideous Laughter. It takes concentration 1 minute, but the casting time is 1 action. It needs to be 30 feet.
You will be in that distance by the time you cast it.
Depending on the level I cast it at. The target's overwhelmed by the absurdity of the world and is crippled in paroxysms of laughter
Tasha's hideous laughter.
until the spell ends. But with Irresistible Dance. Please don't give me a really bad
Well, she told me she'd never actually used these spells, and I said, well, now that you're sitting at the table.
Might
let's
as well.
try it.
Yeah,
Hey.
no, I did. I completely forgot that I had them. So.
Tasha's irresistible laughter is one of those things that doesn't have a modifier based on the size of your target.
That's
It's
nice.
brilliant.
Well, I'm working on earning Basharla's Wild Irresistible Dance, which
Oh,
is a
even
rare
better.
version of it,
Oh,
but I
Yeah.
haven't earned it yet.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I murmur a tune that takes root in the target's mind until the spell ends, forcing it to caper, dance, and shuffle at the end of
Yep.
each of its turns. That's a 6th level spell, whereas Hideous Laughter.
Hideous
I
laughter
think
is much lower. It's only like
I
2.
I can cast it at higher levels.
Yeah,
Hmm.
which is probably going to be a good idea.
Wondering if I should cast Hideous Laughter first.
And then
A, because it's appropriate because it laughed at Lani when she spoke Shadow Tongue to it.
Remember though that they're both concentration. You can only concentrate on one of them.
Yeah, but if it fails the first one, she could always upgrade it
Oh,
to the
yeah.
Yeah,
next.
that's it. That's the whole idea.
Yeah,
So if
so
I
we'll go with
try
that.
Hideous Laughter,
Mhm.
I'll try it at. I've got to pick a level, right?
Max it out, might as well.
Let's see. Cast target additional to. So it just gives you additional creatures. So it doesn't.
Don't
do
need
more,
to max it out. Cast it at base level.
Yeah, just cast it
true.
at base level.
Yes, because that one doesn't change the
No.
Effect.
target for the.
It
And
just
it doesn't change
changes
the
how many
DC. The
people
yeah,
DC
that's what I'm
is
saying.
the same.
DC doesn't change that.
Mm.
Some do. The other one doesn't.
Okay, so it rolled a 19 on the dice. which means it failed.
Oh, did it really?
Ah.
Yeah, because your
Your
DC is
is
22.
spell
Ah.
DC is 22. It's very high.
So that's
So it starts laughing uncontrollably and sinks
Very
between the waves.
Whee!
So now we just have some waves as for
So
going
you
on.
basically you think it's laughing under the water.
Yeah. Well, it's got to lie down.
It's probably like, ha, 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 and there's like, ha, 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 when you just start laughing at nothing.
I
for no
can't
reason.
quite enjoy it yet because I'm concentrating on the spell.
Yes. No, you can enjoy it as a minor action.
Free action.
Or free action. Yes.
Yes. So
Well, actually, concentrating is a minor action, so you could do full standing.
Eep and I will look at the bubbles in fascination
Yes.
and wonder whether or not it's going to drown because it's laughing so much that it won't come up for air.
No, it's only a minute.
Okay, so yes, the boat seems to sail over the bouncing waves quite well.
Sorry.
I deal with her arm. No, that's my fault.
As you can see, it takes you about 2 rounds to cross the length of the body.
Yeah, it's a big bugger.
That's crazy.
Yes. But we're going to be way over there when it wakes up. Of
So
course,
this
it might
lasts as
chase
long as I
us.
concentrate,
For a
or just
minute.
1 minute.
Yeah.
So you concentrate for up to a minute,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
10 rounds.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the 10 rounds,
I
it's
have to
reopened.
cast again, or
Or it just waits.
we're
Yeah.
we're out of range.
Yeah, or flat out cast again because it would get another save.
Mm.
So, you only maintain it for so long.
And by 10 rounds, hopefully, from your perspective, you're far enough away that it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Because I bet all it takes for it to catch up with us is just.
Yeah.
It won't take long.
Because that's the thing. If it really wants to catch up with us, it almost definitely can.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Although we
Easily.
haven't really seen how fast this thing can go.
Could we almost guess that this was the thing that broke the tree?
It looks like it had the strength to.
Yeah.
And if this has a predator in the waters, then whatever preys on this can do it.
Yeah.
And that may not be good for us.
Yep.
Because they do say that there are infernal T-Rexes in the forest.
What's an infernal T-Rex?
It's
So
demonic.
a demonic or a devilish T-Rex.
So.
It was in the river from section.
So this one had just come through one of the other planes to here?
It most likely came through one of the rifts, ended up in the river, and everything in the river ends up towards the sump and where you're heading to.
Yeah.
So the reason why the Shadowlands are so messed up is the elves have made it so.
Basically.
So this is all your fault.
That's funny.
In a very, very broad sense.
I don't know what it is.
Blame the Shadow Elf.
Stop laughing so much. I'm trying to heal your arm.
I'm sorry, she casted the spell.
Technically it only works on the dinosaur.
But Lonnie loved the joke so much, Lonnie can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
It was a good joke.
Yeah.
There's actually a version of it where you've got Vishala's infectious hideous laughter.
Oh, that's the
Ah.
yes. Someone
But
starts laughing. The
the
person next to
one
them
that I'm
catches it.
thinking about getting, which
Yeah, I want that one.
another one that's going to be hard to earn, but it's very dark. It's despair and hideous laughter.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
You've
to
got
be
to laugh
honest,
on
I
your
don't
time.
think I'll end up getting it because it doesn't suit Calcrix as a tap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Style.
Yeah, there are some of those special ones I want to get my hands on.
You got to work a long time for them.
Oh yeah, yeah, you've got a quest for them. But,
So night seems to fall while you're on the river.
yeah.
No more dinosaurs. No dinosaurs.
Naturally, unnaturally.
Hard to tell in this forest.
Given, well, in this forest, and with what's going on with the primals, nothing's natural.
Yeah.
Because
Doubly so here.
they do know that the river is technically on the primal plane.
Mm.
So you're not going through the Feywild or the Feydark on it.
Yes, just don't get off.
But it's also considered to be the borders between
no
the
one
two.
wants to be
Yes,
in a fire.
it's the border of everything.
anything right now.
It's like the river Styx in that sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Actually, it's an ideal place for me because in the middle of everything is is where you wanted to put it.
Mhm.
Plus, I can shoot everything.
And unlike when you've previously been through the forest, there's no markers.
Yeah,
It's just completely black.
Interesting.
yeah.
Because
So
is it like last session when they were going through, the lights weren't working because the trees have been turned off, basically?
Yeah,
The magic that powers the nation is pretty much turned off.
yeah, yes. They
All
turn
the-
the
All the
place
ley
off.
lines are off. All the wards are down.
Yep.
There's now a power vacuum. It's fine.
Yes, all the powers out, including political. Although we've added a social power, so there is that.
And,
Power of the people.
and Lani's timing orb does tell her that it is evening.
Mm.
See,
After
that's
sunset.
perfectly fine. It's obviously working.
Because they spent most of the day in Alpine Town.
Yes,
Yeah. Makes sense.
yes.
And this was their escape.
Yes. Yes, we've escaped into the wilds of the wilds of wildness. In fact, surrounded by more wildness. This is the least wild part of the entire country right at the moment.
Maverick's wants to buy you a thesaurus so that you can describe the wilds of wildness
Yeah.
with more than wild and wildness.
From your perspective, you're heading to the most wild part of the forest, which is the Sumpen Weir.
Yes,
So each
But
river
the
is
problem is
considered.
there's a lot of material in them to get there.
yes. But we're on the least wild part of the entire country because we're on the river.
That's where all the creatures are funneled through.
Yeah, well, it's dangerous, but it's also the least wild.
So the creatures that the elves couldn't kill were pushed into the rivers.
Mm.
Some of them
You
drowned
know what
in
I
it.
think of that?
You know, we've got
Pretty wild.
right. So this is where we find the undead mimics, right?
Okay, moving on.
Okay, with the coming of dawn,
Mm.
it's been a rough night.
Yeah.
So, as if you wanted to put your own light out, even in dark vision, it's just shadows.
Yeah.
Mm.
So everything is hard to see.
Yes. And using a light spell would actually be counterproductive because it would mean the only light is close to us.
Doesn't
The
work
light
that way.
itself isn't going to go far enough to be useful. So all it's really going to do is turn us into a target.
That's where
Guessing.
dancing lights is nicer,
Incredibly useful.
because you can
Doesn't-
put it 120 feet in front of you
Yeah,
Yeah.
and keep it there.
and make it a wall of lights.
Yeah.
So I think you can do 3 or 4 lights in a row in front,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and basically you then get to see anything that crosses that path.
Yeah,
Guessing
for
overnight,
like
it's looking
10
a lot
minutes.
like those videos of like the Florida Everglades at night and the crazy
Yeah.
people that like to just go wade and waste water with all the alligators and stuff.
Because it's cool.
I don't like it. The thing that bothers me the
Because they're
most
stupid.
is
Yeah.
the mud on your feet. I don't know why that part bothers me the
It's-
most, but it does.
Because it grabs onto your foot and holds you down.
I don't like it.
And as you wake up,
I've been
you
in silty mud.
you see what is left of the weir in coming into view.
Mm-hmm.
This is where a majority of the elven armies were set up for your entire lifetime.
Yeah.
It was where
Beat your
you heard every elven recruit was sent here as part of their training. They spent 10 years of service before they were allowed to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
And you can't see anyone there.
Mm.
The
Well,
gates
yeah,
are
because of
burst towards the river.
Something
So-
came out.
Something came out.
Yeah.
And it's not a small gate either. It's a gate that is probably about a mile in full length, and it opens in half, so
Yeah.
half a mile each side, and one side's missing and the other one's twisted up.
Wow.
You say one side's missing, but
One
the other one is
It's twisted up.
twisted up.
Yeah.
So the gate would
On-
stop
on
things getting would stop boats getting into the weir by accident,
Yeah.
but now there's nothing stopping.
But it's also a gate big enough to take up a good portion of the visible environment.
Mm-hmm.
At a distance,
It also
and it's bust.
it also has a walkway and towers on top of the gate.
And they're all just higgledy-piggledy.
Yeah. Some of those are completely missing,
Yeah.
and some of it looks melted. And you don't know anything that can melt that sort of elven design.
Well, I see very, very senior elder elemental, possibly. Although I would say something actually more likely demonic is going to do something like that. Corrupting flame is nasty.
Well, it was said to be nigh invulnerable.
Yeah, nigh is the caveat there.
Well, nothing says anything is impervious.
Yeah. Well, it's broken. It's not got a hole through it. So, yeah.
The fact part of it's still there is
Yeah.
Amazing in its own right.
Yeah, exactly. Something you can do that amount of damage and there's still part of it there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You think you can actually see some of the pennants from the weir guard still fluttering from one of the broken towers.
Yeah.
So, sounds. I'm presuming it looks like this has been done a while ago.
Pretty recently.
Oh, recently? Yeah.
Well, the last time we were in Alpha, this was surrounded by most of the army.
When were we in Alpha last? Was it about
What,
a year ago?
2 years
2
ago?
years ago?
Yeah.
From the Welsh perspective, anything in the last 10 years is recent.
Basically.
Mm. I was going to say, you were saying that they do 10 years basic training here,
Mm.
which I guess to human would be equivalent to like maybe 1 year.
No, it's still
Well,
10 years of the fighting.
to humans' perspective, their 10 years here is like a lifetime for a human's perspective.
Mm.
Because this is not nice duty, this
Mm.
is heavy fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 10 years in a war zone.
Mm.
And it's why most of their warriors are amongst the best in the region,
Mm.
because every single one of them has fought horrors from beyond here.
Mm.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the ones that aren't good enough don't survive it.
So we're taking in the sights and things, I guess.
And what does it look like beyond the weir?
Mm.
A series of cascading waterfalls
Oh.
and whirlpools. The weir itself is a massive whirlpool that goes down into the Underdark.
Right, so this is where we see if this boat's got a cascade setting.
So, remind me, is that like a lock? Or similar to a lock? Or is that...
Basic,
It was like a lock, but except for the fact that it's been broken.
Okay, yeah. And now it has no key.
a weir is basically a waterfall of a dam.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's why I was like
Yeah.
just making sure that I was
You're
envisioning the right
visualising the
thing.
right thing, yeah.
And as you're staring at it, the boat picking up speed, heading towards it.
Mm-hmm.
The cascading waterfalls.
Yeah.
Should we be slowing the boat
We
down?
will slow down and we'll have a look at those waterfalls, see if we can go down safely.
Yeah. Is there a
How deep is
You've technically stopped the boat and it's still pulling forward.
Right. Well, try
Do I
to
need
counter
to
movement
cast
if
slow
it's going
on the
that
river?
way.
What was that?
Do I need to cast slow on the river?
You could technically grow to colossal and pick the boat up in flight, if you wish to.
Okay.
Like that, right? How big's the boat compared to possible dragon tigers?
I didn't know you could get that big. It would be
Okay.
cool if you did.
I presume... Oh, sorry.
Okay, Martin, just for awareness, in the shooting level up as well, so they got rid of colossal size, they just make, huge thing, gargantuan, and then you just make them bigger template as you go through, so, yeah.
I was going to say, I presume our sea knowledgeable, experienced Lani doesn't know how to guide the boat through this area safely.
I know how to safely try to get it to go down the whirlpool, but So far this whirlpool is pulling us in. There's no way to stop this boat at this stage.
Do we want to go down the whirlpool?
That's where we want to go. But do we want to go right now?
You could technically avoid the waterfalls and take the boat to the whirlpool,
Okay.
which would save them a sudden drop.
I presume we don't want to have the sudden drop.
No, we don't.
Us.
Would like to avoid that.
Boats
Calcrix
don't like that.
will look at Lani in particular. I'll go Super Saiyan, making a reference she's not supposed to know.
Do you have blonde hair that pops up on top of your scales?
All of her blacks and blue scales go, blonde and
Yep.
and other colours.
So did you like the dragon I put on the table for you?
The dragon on the table worried me a bit. Because I know where that dragon lives and it's not where it lives, so it had to be moved rather purposefully to have ended up on the table. Oh, is that supposed to be representing me? Is it? Was that a joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
It worked well.
Yeah. No.
I
I was worried about that. I'm like, when is that going to turn up?
We were hoping you would notice it.
Alas,
So,
I believe it's about now.
They plotted on you.
presuming Martin will let me roleplay, I'll very gracefully take up off from the boat, enlarge up to Colossal, and then as gently as I can grip the boat and will become a flying ship.
And I'll give everyone else a brief dexterity saving throw to see how well they are.
I did
holding
warn
them.
them, so they knew that I was going to do it.
So they get advantage.
I'll give them advantage. I'm happy to do that.
17.
You're mathing about as slow as I'm mathing today.
Oh dear.
You fell over?
Quite possibly.
We seem to be laughing at your expense a lot today. I apologise.
That's fair enough. Okay, with advantage, 11.
And how about Drachnoma?
35.
Okay, so Drachnoma is doing this, planting his feet and standing at the bow.
What?
Doing
I am so not surprised at Drachnoma just, 35ing it or 25ing it.
Lani grabs onto the railing as it sort of bounces a bit, and as she's doing that, she notices that Llewell has gone right over the side, and then apparently gets stuck to the side by his cape.
I was going to say, could someone make a reflex?
Can I?
As you realise that Eep has caught his cape.
No, thank you.
I was actually going to suggest that the cape itself grabs the boat, because that would be another function for the cape that would be cool. But
I'm not sure whether or not.
But of course, Eep might not tell anyone that, and you just think your cape's caught onto the boat.
You bought the cape, bought the boat for you.
Would I be able to pull Llewell up?
Depends on how
Yeah,
at
okay.
this stage. I don't know.
And as you're grabbing the cape to try to pull the well up, it feels very much tied to the side of the boat. As you're watching the waterfall go right underneath you, drop away at least 50 feet below. And you can see that there's a series of locks that go around into the whirlpool that have all been broken. And it looks as if they were broken by something coming out of the weir.
Yeah, so something's out there in the big bad world, and it's
And
bigger
it
and
looks to
badder.
have been bigger than the Spinosaurus you fought.
yeah.
The Spinosaurus was gargantuan. Wasn't it? So, just in terms of it's miniature type sizes, that's large, yeah. And that is that huge?
Well, I mentioned I put Yoda down on the table.
Okay, alright, so
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are we talking red dragon up the back there?
Red dragon or gold dragon?
Okay. Yeah. Well, the red dragons are D&D.
I have put the gold dragon on the table before.
The red dragons actually turned up on the table and been in play once or twice. Now, God forbid should it become reachable.
It is reachable.
Yeah.
I don't need a stool.
You have gotten the gold dragon down for the Shadowrun game, so.
Length and extending arms do help.
Well, I'm very glad that the suggestion was made that I change up to Colossal and guide you guys down. And I'm kind of glad that whatever was in there is in the big bad world, because we're going down there and it's not there.
And as you go down, you hear what appears to be a roar come through the forest behind you.
Towards us?
A pissed off Spinosaur.
Maybe. Hopefully it's the Spinosaur. And
Not something
whatever
bigger.
else.
And for those who speak Shadow Tongue, it comes across as challenge accepted.
Oh dear.
But we didn't say anything.
We didn't do
No,
anything.
we Yes, you did.
Well, if
You
it's a
told it-
Spinosaur,
you
it
told
was
it a
hideous
joke.
laughter.
You told her a dad joke.
Yes,
Fell
that's
over
true.
laughing.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Now,
Actually,
whether it was the same creature or in reference to you, unknown, but
I would
feel free
like
to
it-
assume it's yourself.
I'd like it to be worse than that. I'd like Caprix to have told the joke, why did the unicorn go into a focus? And then the answer would be, because the Fey creatures called it. It's absolutely not funny at all. And that then the Spinosaurus laughed at it, and Caprix is like, yeah, it was that bad, it wasn't funny, but you still laughed.
Well, you could have gone because it's Fae.
Pardon?
Because it's fake.
Yeah.
Which is also...
A joke.
Yeah.
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 I was close to telling a proper joke with my
What's the-
mixed
what's
up
the
head.
Yes. What's the difference between a duck? One of its legs is both the same.
What's the difference between a duck?
Yes.
One of its legs is both the same.
Yes.
So are you talking like a healing duck, or are we talking like a quacky duck?
I'm
Are
confused
we
too.
talking like
I
a
don't-
difference between the two?
Most duck legs are identical. They don't look like they have right or left legs.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's that too.
I have
We're
not spent
moving
much
on.
time looking at duck legs.
It's not meant to be funny. It's meant to be a brain bender that makes you laugh because it's stupid.
Oh,
It
I
is.
see. Yeah.
The answer is yes, it is.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
you could have just gone with the old classic of why the dinosaur off the road.
Why?
The chickens haven't evolved yet.
I was gonna say that's what I'll use next time I cast Hideous Laughter.
Okay, so as you reach the whirlpool, the enlarge starts to wear off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, am I gonna land in time?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
I will land. Just
And by that time, you've managed to get Lowell back on the boat, but his cloak is still stuck to the side.
I will spend some time and rescue my cloak from the side of the boat.
Apparently, he's got an attached to it.
It's got attached to the boat.
He doesn't want to let go in case the boat takes off again.
Given what half the rest of my magic items are like, I'm going to comfort my cloak and persuade it to let go. Because I talk to my gear for a reason. Some of it talks back.
I talk to my gear too, and none of my gear is magical like your gear, but I still talk to it.
Yes, because it's because you're you. Yes. I talk to it because I get conversations out of some of them.
Okay, so as it seems to let go off the side, that you feel a sudden drop as the boat drops into the whirlpool. And then everything goes dark.
Hopefully, Lani is able to captain this boat.
Lani is currently helping Lowell.
Oh,
Dragonum is at the prow,
Yep.
and you're standing on top of the boat.
So no one's driving.
okay. I will go to see if I can drive the boat. until I
Looking
can
at the
get
end, you can see a little plant just going.
my little plant.
There is no knowing
How's
where
she
we're
doing?
going.
She seems to be quite happy.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't mean she's good at it.
Is Lulu safe now?
Yeah.
If Little's safe, I'm hanging back.
Yeah.
No, but if I see eat, I'd be like,
No, well,
Hey.
basically what Calcrix will do is if Lani's finished, Calcrix will say, you're doing such a good job. You deserve a cookie. Do you want to come and get it?
Eve lets go of the tiller and you start to spin uncontrollably.
Lionel will then take.
Dive to the telephone.
Lionel will then take hold. and try to right it as much as possible.
We might have been better letting Eve do
It's
it.
now a strength saving throw for Lani as the whirlpool is fighting you.
Right.
Maybe you should have just let Eve continue doing it.
Modified 20.
Even not a bonus to do a rock though.
No, I trust Eve.
You're finding it extremely hard to hold the tiller. Your arms are straining.
I think we'll head to the back to the stern to try and
Yeah,
help hold the boat.
yeah. I think all
Hold
three.
the tiller.
Yeah, all of us might need to.
Yeah.
It'll
What's
be a
your
very
strength?
crowded tiller though. I think just leave
Cal-
it Drachnum
Cal-
out
I was
and
gonna say, is Calvin strong?
Well,
I
yeah, but
believe
one of us on each side is fine. So we could do it with 2 people.
So you got Drachnumar with his muscles bulging,
Yeah.
Lani with her muscles bulging, and Eve going, Bagom!
We could also hand it back to Eve, to which Calcrick says, I totally trust Eve to get us through this safely if you guys are happy for her to take over.
Are you fine with Eddie?
Bagom!
She's never let us down yet?
Except she's
Yeah.
very dragon.
It's
In fact, they were thinking the fact that, hang on, considering how much effort it is to try and hold the tiller,
Yeah.
if you're looking at Eve thinking, well, with how strong he is, he's not very big enough to hold it.
Calcrick's, Drachma, she was handling it with ease. before
You also remember the story of Eve carrying Calcrix from the field of battle.
yeah.
Yeah. Eep has the strength of ironbark roots.
Yeah. No. If Calcrick says that she trusts Eat, then Lani will
Yeah. There's all.
give
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But the other factor is that considering the size of Eve, it can quite happily hang on to the tiller at the same time as Lani and Dracula.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Eve may feel that she's been over-adulted, but you could try.
Eve comes over and hands a cookie to Drachnumar.
Mm-hmm.
Eve's
He's
holding
got his
it.
hands full.
Well, in that case, climbs up your arm and offers it to you.
She puts it in your mouth.
and starts smacking.
Yes. She helps you chew. You
Because
can't
she's
stop
got
her.
leaves, and so that means she's got more than 2 hands.
Mm-hmm.
Dracula is not one that's really gone for Eve's cookies at all previously, and he's not going to want one now.
You feel a cookie being bashed against your nose.
Eve is giving my aide bad ideas. And he's a full-size tree.
Calcrix will remind Drachnumar that the cookies only prevent him from being enslaved by Xantiothel.
Did you ever care the cookies are bad? Did we after we heard the fact they were trying that? Excuse me, Dracula's got a sweet tooth.
No, you don't have to eat them. She's just reminding you that,
Yeah.
that just in case, if you'd prefer not to have it continually.
And so currently the only thing you can see in the darkness is a plant little creature going boop with a cookie on Drachnumar's nose.
Are we
It's just
going
this,
to...
like this.
Is he going to be able
Is
to
it-
concentrate while
Yeah.
he's...
Is
what's
it,
happening?
yeah, possibly.
Well, you can't quite see where you're going because it's too dark and it's
I was
twisting and turning.
Yes, I was about to ask, is it still the sort of unnatural darkness?
Technically, no. You can see the walls, but you can only see probably about 20 feet ahead of the boat
Yeah.
as it's curving through tunnels.
Yes, well, that's fair enough. So we just have to move slowly.
Lonnie will help convince
follow the
Dracula
water.
to let Eep steer.
I'm also going to put cast light on the tip of the bow
Mm-hmm.
because that gives us at least that much.
Eep.
Sorry, on the front,
Can you
so it
help
doesn't
Dracula
interfere with your
steer?
vision. It's just like
Okay, so you cast your spell and you feel it disappear.
Okay, I'm not surprised.
And then you remember you were told that the halfling boats have a tendency to eat magic.
Yeah. Alright, so the boat just ate it. Fun. Okay.
You can't fireball these things.
I'm surprised that my enlarge worked, to be honest.
You didn't cast it on the boat.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I
That's
cast
true.
it on myself.
Yes.
Does Eep follow my request to help Dracna steer instead of bashing him with cookies?
Okay, so Eep does the whole walk down the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Hands a cookie to Lani.
Who has been healed up
I have.
and bandaged and stuff.
With some hesitancy, but accepting. She accepts the cookie, knowing what
With
the
some
bargain,
The other option.
knowing what the bargain is, and says that.
I think the other option is you get pooped in the face.
That's
I don't.
Yeah, true.
And I would much rather not have Eep crawl all over me. As cute as I believe she was beforehand, I'm not exactly over my fear of Eep.
No.
So
that's actually valid.
yeah. So I have a respectful distance from her at all times.
And then you see Eep step on the tiller, and as soon as Eep touches the tiller stops fighting you.
Thank you, Eep. I'm gonna go.
And when Dracula realizes that, hang on, yep, all the weight from the tiller's gone, it's no longer problematic, he will accept.
Yeah.
Look a bit bemused and try lessening his tension on the tiller, and noting the fact that he's not doing anything effectively,
Yeah.
he will let go and take a double take at each and then go back to the bow of the boat to look fair.
Yes, I'm sure the unnaturalness of Eep is freaking out Dracnima more than ever.
Absolutely.
As you realise now, the curves are getting easier to spot coming, as the boat seems to be sitting at the right angle at each turn from now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So Eep is reading the way you go.
Or it's been here before.
Or it knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is actually entirely possible.
Yep.
Yeah,
We don't know how old
What
it is.
Yeah.
your misunderstanding is the fact that Eep was the giant thing that flew down the weir.
I'm trying not to think about that.
It's entirely possible.
I'm trying not to think about that.
I haven't discounted this as...
I was gonna say, other than Eep has been with you for a long time, but we do know that time travel is a thing. So.
And that
Plus trees live a long time.
and that Eep is not the only one of its kind.
Yeah.
If this is an embodied great tree, Eep.
Hence the name.
Yeah. That sounds fair.
And it now feels as if you were just moving along a smooth river current.
Right.
No shaking, no throwing about. But looking at the curves, you're basically changing direction almost constantly.
I'll stay next to Eep and feed her cookies.
Mhm.
And tell her that she's doing such a great job.
There's crumbs everywhere.
That's fine.
Yum, 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 yum.
We'll clean those up later.
Well, they kind of crumbs of the cookie kept a fork into Dracula's face.
Sigh.
You never waste cookie crumbs.
Though Llewell does realise he can cast light on one of his own objects without the ship having an effect on it.
Yeah.
Or onto one of Dracnimar's objects, who's standing at the bow, who would be a perfect figurehead for you.
Yes, except
Cast
he's
it
the
on
one.
Dracnima.
He's the one who needs the light in front of him.
On his helmet. Ding!
Front of his helmet, which is
What does your helmet look like
commonly
again,
variable.
Dracna?
No, put it on his nose. That'd be Rudolph.
Dracula doesn't wear a helmet, he doesn't wear armour of any sort.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I can put it on his forehead.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Nose is sounding good now.
Like the
Yeah,
Sibylla.
but now if it's there, it'll blind you.
Oh,
Just
okay.
tell him to look this way.
Wherever I look, it's bright.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't.
And considering Dracnima's got 9 foot of dark vision, that's
Yeah.
probably more than enough in this narrow terrain.
I believe it's
Dark
unnatural
vision.
light.
Yeah, this is unnatural light. You need.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
a spell to see.
Yeah, dark vision
Yeah,
isn't really
it's-
working.
Yeah, in perfect darkness, Oh, sorry, is it night vision or dark vision?
Martin said that no one, even with dark vision.
Even with
so
dark vision, you
I
can't.
think
So we
he
do
said-
need the light.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
You passed through the unnatural darkness
Oh, we passed.
Oh, it's
as you
done.
went down the weir.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, but if you got dark vision, what it means is you can see twice as far as where
Yeah,
it's
so he's
light
got 90 foot.
as someone who doesn't. However, our vision range at the moment is less than both of our dark vision.
Exactly.
Thing is, you still need some light,
No, I have dark vision now or something.
do you?
From something. Thought I did.
Possibly a magic item. I don't know. Quite probable.
There were certainly a few dark vision goggles around amongst the parties that probably got redistributed.
Yeah, there's also that.
Or maybe I'm mixing up one of my characters.
I think
You could.
I very easily be mixing up my character. Doesn't matter. I don't need to see where I'm going.
I mix up my characters all the time.
Okay,
I even had a moment where I thought Dractomar and Des were the same.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember you doing that.
Right.
Adam.
It's entirely coincidental, and in fact, due to name changes, that all my characters start with D at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've got Dimitri, Dracnomar and Desrin, so...
Yeah, so it's very.
I think it's only in the Pathfinder that you've got to see.
we can fix that.
I think now the GM has an idea that amuses him. And
No, it's just spelled with a silent D.
Yeah.
Like Django.
Mm.
Yes.
It's Decorad.
Mm.
No. Unfortunately, Cornard passed away, but there was a third brother, Dornar.
Yeah.
Sigh. Very much.
Okay, so it seems to go on for hours going through the rocks like this.
Yeah.
It starts to slow down. Most of you manage to get through a long rest while you're on the boat.
That's a hell of a long trip.
My old
It
healed
watches
from the
and
ice
they
and stuff.
I'll
You
take
are
it.
healed up from the ice by the time you finish your long rest.
I'll take
But you
it.
have this amazing scar to show for it.
Yeah.
I hope
need
it
to-
works
I
later.
did,
Note that
I
down.
did the proper medical treatment on it.
So
as well as the healing.
It's gonna make for some killer tattoos to add.
Yeah, because now you've got that scar, you can highlight it.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be cool.
And you can show where it went through your arm 4 times.
Oh, that's scary. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes, it's lucky no.
Yeah, both sides of the wrist and both sides of the upper arm.
Because it went through there. Yeah. I stapled my arm to itself.
But it missed your body.
Hello, everybody.
Mm.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I was going to say, this is very lucky.
Hmm.
Well, if it was a critical failure, it would have been torso.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're feeling the boat start to slow down, you realize the whole entryway is just opening up, and you've reached a underground lake.
So, walking great cavern.
And you can see lights in a pillar in the lake in the distance.
Oh,
Lights in the bill.
cool. Things to be careful of course, but cool.
Which sounds much like the dwarven waypost that you were told about.
Ah.
This is good.
They refer to it as Mantle Dareth, basically me using stuff from.
Yeah.
So I can reuse names without having to worry about them.
This is a good idea.
Hmm.
Is the reason you have all the books?
So how big is this underground lake, or how big is this cavern? Do we need to actually set up a light source to try and actually get an idea? Or?
Dark vision cannot give you the length, width, or height.
I
And-
don't think even casting daylight would be sufficient.
Daylight might get you some concept of it, but
Yeah.
casting daylight in here would basically
It's a big flare.
would be considered an offence to most of the shadow folk.
Right, yeah, there's that.
Okay, quite impolite.
It's very impolite. Basically, we're going to just go, yeah, it's friggin' huge. We don't know how big it is.
You can tell from the echoes
Right,
that
from
this is
sound.
probably the biggest space you'll be in underground.
Yeah.
even towards the dwarven fortresses that some of the characters have been in,
Yeah,
Mm.
such as Calcrix.
Mm.
yeah, because normally a place this big would only be at
Sorry, I was looking up something. What did we just do?
You're in a underground lake that is in a space bigger than the dwarven fortresses you've been to.
Ah, right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause-
So you're talking about when we visited the dwarves.
so even when dwarves are overdoing things, they don't make spaces this big.
And the pillar you see is bigger than most cities in diameter.
Okay, that's freaking huge.
It's not full populated. You see that?
Yeah.
Hey,
Do you want me to get your drink?
you see that? Yes, please.
Yeah.
You see that a spiral around it has
Do
lights.
you want me to go get it?
No, it's okay. Keep getting soda streams.
A spiral around the pillar has lights, and it leads up. There looks to be some sort of settlement in the higher area,
Yeah.
but you think this may hold maybe 1,000 to 2,000 people in general.
Mm.
So very lightly populated, given the size of the thing.
Well, you wouldn't want to go too far into a supporting pillar
Well,
of.
no. But if it's that big across, size of a city across, you're looking at half a mile, which makes the cavern whocking enormous.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
You do a
Paul,
spiral around that, you could put 20,000 people on that without an issue. 1,000 not a problem. Yep, coming.
Sorry. I can't even undo the lid.
No, that's fine.
And you can see this from what looks to be about a mile away on the lake.
Impressive.
So it is lit up around
Do you know
it.
how to do it?
No.
Yeah.
Doesn't show you much of the cavern, just shows you this pillar.
Not really.
I mean,
Yeah.
pretty crazy still, but like we can still see it, and like it's so huge, and just goes to show the size of the lake itself and the cavern that like that we are truly in the underground wilderness.
And you're in an underground sea or ocean from your perspective.
Wow.
This feels like that without the waves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost an underground plane.
Yep. Absolutely.
Now, we were coming down here, we were going through the Underdark area to have a better access to get into the Dwarven Kingdom, rather than kind of fight our way through the closed borders above. But we're also down here to recover or find something.
To investigate this settlement and see what has been going on here, because
There's lemon.
the dwarves lost access to its people here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's well underpopulated.
This is the connecting point between the surface and the Shadowlands,
Yeah.
and the dwarves and the Shadow Elves.
Which means we'll find both here, and I'm going to get looked at you.
Are we noticing any other activity on the
That's
lake?
okay. Drake
aside
gets
from
to
Apollo.
do it, so-
You see the ripples of the water.
I'm just normal.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm just waiting because I'm trying
That
not
was
to.
fine.
Yeah.
No apologies required. You're allowed to roleplay. That's part of why we're here. So that's why I'm trying to stop and not talk over you. So from Drachnimir's perspective, all he can see on the lake are the ripples from the movement of your boat. It's causing the only movement on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So we see the lights twinkling, but no signs of other movement, or are we too far?
Well, it's about a mile away. You're seeing this.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
we're too far.
Yeah.
And we're not getting good light either, so.
Yeah, it's not good.
And the light you see is dim light in the Shadowlands,
Which is-
not bright light.
Yeah.
Doesn't need much.
But the dim light has lit up this pillar like a Christmas tree,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
as it is many colours.
Oh, okay, cool.
All the pretty colours.
Well, some creatures can't see certain colours, so
That's true.
it's an interesting defensive mechanism.
Yes.
Hmm.
Plus, in D&D and a few other things, you can have the lights be growing fungus.
Mm-hmm.
and they're all sorts of different colours.
And they can also be just chemistry. They
Yep,
can be
exactly. Magical arts.
grown magically as a organic creature. They can be naturally occurring creatures. There's so many options. I love it.
Yeah, and the Forgotten Realms Drow grow have, from memory, have fungus that glow in ultraviolet.
That was how they see things.
Calcrix is starting to consider whether or not she wants to take a biology course.
Yes, that'd be very nice.
So she can learn all about the plants and how to make glowy plants, so that at home there can be all the glowy plants.
Engineering specialist.
She will, if appropriate, take small samples, so that there's stuff that she can take home.
Okay, so the boat takes you about half an hour to cross to the pillar itself. And you see that there are docks here as if travellers come here.
Yeah.
You're thinking this lake might have been where whatever got out into the forest came from.
Okay.
This is the only exit
close
to
enough
the
to the pillar. Are we seeing any movement or activity within the pillar?
There is sparkling up there as if there are lights and movement, but it's so far up, and by the time you get to the weir, it's overhanging you.
Yeah.
That's the idea, in fact, that there's no reaction to the boat's approach, are
No reaction to the boat approaching.
Yeah, but the sparkling does indicate either there's someone moving things or it's a gem or something similar.
Can she tell? She's
Or
looking straight up at it.
Magic doing impressions of
Can I see
starlight,
it?
Give me a perception roll.
which is a good.
Hello. You rolled me a 20 last game. Can you roll me something decent this time? Please don't roll a 1. It's going to be a 1. Yeah, it's not a 1. It's a 12. I have numbers here.
You're adding like 10 to it.
I believe you at 8 or 10.
I think. Part of me would like it to be a 10, but. Alright, so when I'm doing the additions, which one do I take?
Okay, I'm gonna go with +8.
Okay,
So I'm doing wisdom for this one and your proficiency.
Okay. Okay, so that would make it a non-natural 20.
Okay, looking up at it, you think that most of the light are dark fae.
Oh, really? I will talk to it in.
And the equivalent of pixies that are in bottles.
Oh, they're in bottles! I look down at Eve and I'm like, can they do that?
Because fireflies.
Right, they can, whether they should is a different question.
Should they do that?
Death to the infidels!
Eve's very much in favour, obviously. This doesn't make it right. It's your choice, not Eve's.
Caracris is like, if I let all of those pixies go, I'm going to get this party in a lot of trouble.
You're also going to have a lot of pixie friends.
But I want to let the pixies go.
Well, think of the pixies like you remember from Hellboy 2. The two fairies there.
No, some pixies can be very nasty.
I was gonna
Particularly
say,
the dark pixies.
we have experience with nice pixies,
Yeah,
and they were a handful.
and if these are corrupted and dark fey pixies,
They're probably not very
they're
nice.
probably safer inside the jars.
Okay. There might
Caracris is having a
Here we-
conflict with Earthy.
Although putting all the jars together in a pile and me casting banishment on them, they'd probably like that.
So what is that
And what was Dracnomir going to say?
Sorry,
like I say, it's possibly there's a reason they're locked up, not just to provide light source.
oh yeah, it's still slavery if you're doing that, even if they're nasty, unless they like it.
Could be improvement.
If they're creatures that are going to be imprisoned, they're going to be imprisoned somewhere.
She might
Wait,
wait
an island,
until she
make sure
finds
that's
out more about them if we can encounter.
Well, you're looking at them from a distance. You're not actually in hands touch of them.
Yeah. that doesn't mean that Calcrix couldn't easily put herself in hand to touch of them and set them all free. She's very inclined to
Well, except for the fact that
do
the
that,
anybody needs to wax over the entire tower, are they not?
There are lights all over the pillar going up.
Yeah, all over the
And the pillar was the pillar was a diameter of
It's half a
multiple buildings.
in the city. It's half a mile across.
Right, so this is a singular pillar,
Yep.
Yeah.
but it is the size.
It's the only
of
pillar
each-
you've seen in this cavern.
Right, but it is the size of a city, and it's above us. You said.
It's going out of the water all the way up to the.
Yeah.
You can't see where.
Okay. And by the time we reached the weir, you said we had gone past it, or it was
No,
right?
by the time you reach the weir, you've gone into
Under
the thinnest part of the pillar.
I
As it's
see.
thicker, the further you go up.
I
So this makes it a stalactite.
Stalactite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sticks tight to the ceiling, stalactite.
And might tries to grow up.
Stalagmite, exactly right.
Okay. I think I'm
So-
visioning this,
The scary thing is half a mile across,
but I'm not sure. At
and
the
it's
base.
not the biggest. It doesn't take up
So
most of
it's
the
kinda
cavern.
like a tooth sticking out of
So
the
the
door.
cavern's got to be at
Two
least
two
4 miles
sticking
across.
into the water.
Into the water, so but it's coming.
Is
from
there any light and things like that down on the level of the lake?
There is no light on the lake itself. You can see what appears to be a landing with places to tie boats, all made out of bone.
Yeah.
And the bones are wider than you guys.
Wow.
Even Calcrix can put Calcrix's paw outstretched on some of the bones without touching the edges.
What do we know of this place, this area?
This area is the neutral ground between the surface and the underground.
Yep.
So between the dwarves and the shadow elves,
Yeah.
which is something the dwarves don't admit to and something the shadow elves don't admit to. Since Luel hadn't heard about this place until the king mentioned it,
Yeah.
which is a surprise for Luel because he thought he knew quite a lot of the secrets.
Yeah, but that's always true. You always.
There's
know-
always
always-
secrets to learn.
Yeah, that's the thing. You always think you know a lot because that's only what they've told you, and they've told you that's a lot of secrets, but it isn't. It's just the little bit they've told you. This is continues to be true even when you become an immortal, because they don't all have the same truths.
And what
the-
one's truth is another's lie.
I presume
They
that
can
the
make it work
beastie
that
that's bigger than my foot is probably a dinosaur of some sort.
Or
Yeah.
some other subterranean creature.
Are the party members the only people on this boat?
Yes.
At the moment, yeah.
Can we see any signs of life outside of the pixies?
Not on this landing. The pixies aren't on this landing.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say
no, I mean
we'll
like
dock, tie the boat, all that
Anywhere
stuff,
around us.
and then start. I guess, looking around, investigating for any signs of life or movement. That
Would it be valid to leave?
But, like,
people
or
out
where-
of the boat?
There's a wear mark
no one
of
leaves
a
eat
trail
behind.
leading into a cave.
If you
Yeah,
leave
fair.
eat behind, it's too dangerous.
Oh, that's true.
so
We've
as
done
we
this in the past.
Yeah,
Friday's group account.
I remember you mentioning it.
Into a cave that's inside the pillar, you mean, or separate to the pillar?
It goes into the pillar.
Yep. Well, yep, we'll part the boat and then, Jack or at least we'll jump out and start investigating the dock area to
Yeah, have a look around.
see if there's evidence of use. Apparently, we will start going down the trail.
It has enough wear and tear here for Drakdamar to imagine it has been in use for more than 1,000 years.
Which sounds about right.
It is a well-used and maintained area. The bindings on the pier look to have been repaired many times, and pieces of it show different ages. And he's sure that part of the bones may have come from teeth from a purple worm.
That's a
Wow.
big friggin' purple worm.
There are the world eater worms that exist in
I've
the
got that on my list. for when I
center
reach
of the
right
world
level.
that basically were said to be the first living creatures on the planet.
Yes.
There's actually a spell you have that you can summon one.
Created
of those
by
if you can
Thanatos.
try it.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
It's in my
Because
list.
they're literal world eaters.
And their waste product is the world shield ore,
Yeah.
which is the ore that consumes all magic.
Makes sense.
Which those who have read the Adventures of Dimitri have certainly got not much information and knowledge about.
Yeah.
We really got to meet up with the other groups and share journals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they have a couple of times now.
That's not, you share it all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drazzle.
Oh, Drazzle does.
Drazzle is also happy to pass notes between groups.
Well, and technically, we've got percentage zones to mark short between groups now too.
Yes, it's just
Because-
I've never known of any reason to actually contact the other group.
Though Drazzle does
No,
say
no.
that the Friday group is now on its own.
Oh, okay.
At the moment, there's no Drazzle.
Interesting.
He is not permitted to join them.
Just
Because they're in Galantry.
No, they're in the Northern Reaches dealing with the cults of elements.
And
Okay.
Drazzle can't be there. Okay. That's interesting.
Speaking of which, is Drazzle headed on Calcrix's last letter to Calcrix yet?
From
Because
which
just
one?
before Drazzle left them, she handed Drazzle a bunch of letters.
Dan Drazzle will have handed on the letters.
She won't read them right now. Obviously, not a good time, but I just want to know if I put my
So-
letters.
So that was Friday Calcrix handing letters to Tuesday Calcrix?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, we had
But
the,
she has other pals that just
Yes,
Herman and
Well, we had the long rest on boats, so you had time to read.
yeah, but I won't role play any of that.
No, that's fair.
And this is quite a spacious passageway heading in there. You believe that you can actually fit 4 of you side by side
That's a good
into the passageway.
I think we would probably have to be able to fit cards.
And it
things like
is
that.
perfectly smooth, even though it appears natural.
That's dwarven for you.
No, you don't think it was carved, you think it was feet.
So just naturally worn over the thousands of
Yeah.
years of use.
Yes. Yeah. Carve it in place and then use it for 1,000 years. It'll be smooth.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, if we look at the roof, we probably would see work marks.
No, there are no work marks in here. It looks like this was burrowed by something a long time ago.
And then
And
just use
this
it.
is this is just the leftovers of a creature spawning.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like
It got bigger on its way out.
primordial.
Yeah.
No, just a purple worm sort of
Oh,
This
okay.
was its egg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or in a way, yeah.
Yes. I did read some stuff about some people having spells to control the direction purple worms go, so you can put tunnels where they want them.
thing. Or travel inside them.
Yes.
There's another one of those in level up.
Yeah.
And again, as I say, Dimitri's stories of the world words,
Yeah.
they were being controlled and manipulated to where they were travelling, and
Well, yeah, but that's
But the world worms were put to sleep by the gods.
During one of these rests, Calcrix starts writing letter. Dear Dimitri, I keep hearing about you. You seem to be a rather famous person. I feel you have
particularly having back on land again, Dracula has sort of naturally fallen back into his sort of almost invisible state with his magic self.
Okay, so while you're doing that, Caltrix was writing a letter to Dimitri.
No, I said during one of our rest periods.
That's what I was saying
Yeah,
is,
she's like, Dear Dimitri, I've heard about you an awful lot. You seem to be a personage of great knowledge and experience. I would like to hear some of these stories. Would you be my pen pal? She hands it to Drazzle.
Right.
Sorry, up to Dimitri to respond on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So funny. All I can think, though, you keep saying purple worm, all I can think is like SpongeBob. The elastic worm! That's all I can think.
You know what I
Perfect
keep
reason.
saying? Yeah. Purple dinosaur.
Party.
And you've named your purple worm Buddy.
Yes.
That's just bad.
I didn't mean to.
And then the purple worm talks
It's
back.
kind of like
Nah.
Ghostbusters. It just popped into my head.
It works. So we're walking our way up this cavern.
Mhm.
It's nice and smooth.
It's
No
ancient.
signs
of life for other people yet?
No, as you walk up the passageway, there is a smooth section of the wall. And those of you with dark vision get a glimmer on the door, with those of you without it do not see it.
Okay. It's a door.
It appears, well, it's the only worked part of this base, and they wouldn't work all part for no reason.
Okay.
Just concerning Martin, when we were arriving, you were saying there were a few affected dock areas that ships could land at.
That's correct.
Particularly the dock that we landed at, and presumably the others, there was only one tunnel that led off it.
There was only one tunnel that led off it.
Or the dock weren't connected to each other per se, or anything like that.
It was a series of docks that all led to the one tunnel.
Right, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I might also take this opportunity. I think it might be a good moment to use True Seeing as a ritual. If people are happy to, not Dimitri,
Right.
Drachnamar investigates this door. It could be an opportunity for me to do it. Is that okay for?
Okay, so I will give you your spellcasting check to cast the ritual,
Okay, yeah.
because I believe it is a 6th level spell.
It is a 6th level, but as a ritual, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know the difference
6th
between a
level
ritual and a
would
spell.
make it a DC 22.
Rituals
So,
take longer
okay, yeah.
because they don't take spell slots.
Just says True Seeing 1 minute costs in components each time. Okay, cool. I don't think I'm gonna make it if it's 22.
What did you roll?
10.
And I believe you add your proficiency bonus plus your you add your charisma, which would be plus 10 in total, plus you also have a couple of magical items
I
that
do.
assist with ritual casting,
I do. But I
Yeah.
don't
which
have
would
them
get
in
you
there.
just enough.
Actually, I do have them in
If
there.
those exist, I want some.
You probably have some. It's just me getting it all in properly.
Yeah.
I broke the entire magic system yesterday
So then you're fixing it.
Yeah.
because I needed it to be
Oh,
accessible
yeah,
from
I will
more
have
than
it.
one spot.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I made it work better in the middle of breaking it. Now I've got to finish making it work better.
That's usually how it goes when you're building a website.
So the True Seeing
So you-
does work?
So while you're doing your true seeing, Drachnamar gets to make a investigate roll if Drachnamar would like to.
Yep, we'll have a look at this door.
As a ritual, it's a very handy one to have.
And 26.
26. Okay, so as you're doing some investigations, you can tell for a fact it is a door. There are enough tool markings on here to say this flat part is definitely for a purpose, which means it's not designed for stealth like most dwarven doors are. But it does have a lot of dwarven styling in it. You can see also that there appears to be tool markings on the floor further up from where the door is, indicating someone had pitched a tent there recently, because the stonework looks new. With the roll, you realize the tent is still pitched there, it's just not visible. Even the things that have it attached are invisible. But the holes they make are not.
Did you figure out if you had dark vision or not?
Yeah,
I
but the whole
think I
they're still
could-
occupied.
Yeah.
Or there was like something.
I thought you
Oh, I
had
can
an
cast
item.
light. That's what it is. That's different.
Yeah, check your items to see if you've got something that gives you that.
No, I don't have dark vision, but I have not prestidigitation, but I have something that allows me to have light, so I can't see.
Yeah.
I think it's my sunblade or something like that.
Probably
Sunblade
Sunblade
definitely
is-
gives you a lot of light.
Well,
Yeah.
Sunblade is basically a lightsaber.
Yeah. No, there's something else that gives me that. I just don't remember what it is. I have to go through my notes.
I believe you have many things, and hopefully I'll get them available soon.
Yeah, no,
I
the
am-
only reason I was asking was if you don't have dark vision, I think you're the only one who can't see the
Nope.
door in the tent.
I'm just.
Well, I believe I'm tinkering with one of Paul's ones at the moment to try to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
kind
the
of going
rest of
along for the ride and trusting that the more magical people
Yeah.
got this. It's funny that Lana keeps saying like the more magical people or the people who use magic when she knows very much that she's
Yeah.
gonna very much know what time magic is and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
She's still gonna admit that she's
Well,
not
so
a
the-
magic person.
No, but you've got secret crafts. You're not supposed to tell people you've got this stuff.
And so time magic is just normal.
That's just
Yeah.
time. That's timey-wimey stuff. It's not magic.
Right. She
Exactly.
says going forwards 3 seconds into the future.
Okay,
Yes,
so
life is magic, isn't it?
so by the time Drakdamar discovers the hidden tent and confirms that there's a door there,
Yeah.
because it could have been a mimic or some other falsehood done to trick adventurers to putting their ear up against it.
I don't think we've encountered a mimic yet, have we?
Friday has,
Yes, but I don't think we
Oh.
have.
Tuesday has,
Oh.
Wednesday has.
Not recently,
Yeah.
I guess.
I actually almost killed a Wednesday character and a Friday character with a mimic.
Yes.
One of them was a door.
Yeah. Yes. Beware the mimic photographs.
So I'll adjust according to recently.
Actually,
Hmm.
according to the next item list that's on the website after the redistribution, you ended up with a pair, or Lane ended up with a pair of Kelvin's goggles.
There it is.
Yeah.
So you can see in the
I
dark
can't
with
see
her.
in the dark. There we go.
But
That's what I'm just like.
they're noisy to use. They call the constant clicking and clockwork sound as they
Yeah,
go through.
so when we're trying to stealth, I'm not necessarily going to be using them. When they're
Yeah.
necessary, I would be using them.
Yeah.
Just not near a.
Not
Yeah.
near.
But if
Yeah.
there's an alternative, you're going to use them.
We might need to get you something else.
Yeah, no, if I really need to use them, it'd be fine. I would use them. But
Yeah.
where I can trust my party can see other things, I'm just I'll
Okay.
hold off.
So when Calcrix brings up the true sight, you see the rune on the door highlight quite clearly, as well as the protection sigils all around the door itself,
I see.
both on the inside and outside.
Do I understand what they mean?
They are designed for stopping the entryway from opening if the correct word is not spoken.
Right.
So you can't use magic to bypass the entryway.
Okay.
Hmm.
Alright. I'll immediately warn
And-
the shadow elf of this.
There is nothing else in the walls that you can reach through magic.
Mm.
But you do see a tent hanging from the ceiling.
Hanging from the ceiling. Oh.
And indeed what Jack Dimmer was looking at the time, looking to see is the tent really occupied?
Or is it a
Um,
cloaker?
well, Drakdamar can't tell that because it is invisible, and he can tell from where it was. Some of the pegs are pitched
Yeah.
that they were recently put in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So only
From
Calcrix can see the text.
Calcrix can actually see through the illusion and see that there is someone up there hidden in the suspended tent.
She'll tug on probably Drachnima's sleeve and whisper in a very low voice, "There's a tent up there and we're being watched." Then
And you hear a voice coming from the tent. Yes, you are.
Calcrix then says, "Do you drink tea or coffee? I have cookies too."
Don't drink cookies.
Okay.
Apparently you can drink cookies. I didn't know that before.
Voice from the tent says, maybe if you crush it up enough, it's small enough to drink.
You dip it in the coffee and it goes soft.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I think we may possibly diffuse this. Maybe.
And light comes into the darkness from the tent as the flap is opened.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bright light, but it feels blinding in this dim conditions.
Yes.
As you see, let's see if I've got a description of the person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't describe it there. I'm sure they'll describe this later on in the book.
Hmm.
Okay.
The description at the start of the encounter, that would make too much sense.
Yeah.
Do we even know what race?
Human, but I was seeing if they actually have. Definitely not a demon lord. We can bring them up later.
Yeah, what?
Later.
Later. That's a
Just
promise.
later would be nice. You might say later.
I'm sure you'll do well with them. You always do. Creatures, magical
Except for the things
items.
we run away from.
I don't know, sometimes running away is not... It's a good option.
Yeah, but that's not dealing with. It's not dealing with the critter, it's dealing with the situation. It's a different thing.
Okay. So no NPC section at the back. Okay, so she says her name is Ristia Zav.
Mm-hmm.
Got a green cloak on, wears a symbol of Radrian's Investigation Bureau on her cloak, upside down at the moment. And has a wide-eyed look about her.
You said she was a human?
Yeah.
Calcrix,
She was a human. Yes,
Yeah.
human.
Calcrix bounces up as soon as she sees the red rune symbol and points to the one on her chest and goes, "We have the same employer! Come on, you gotta have tea and coffee."
Okay, she goes to climb out of her tent.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently succeeds.
Right.
With a lot of cursing.
Doesn't forget which way up she is.
Basically, there's a lot of ropes involved.
Why are you on the ceiling?
It's a great way to hide.
No, people who come through here don't check the ceiling.
Yeah, most
How high up was the ceiling?
Ceiling goes up 20 feet.
So,
Safer
yeah,
up there.
it's a bit of a climb getting down.
If you want next time, I can put you back in your tent or take you
No,
out.
she puts her hands up. No, all good. I can handle self.
Okay.
We'll introduce ourselves, I suppose. I guess we ask her, how long have you been here?
I don't know. What day is it?
I will give the approximate day from what I know.
And Mum?
Wait, doesn't my time orb say exactly the day?
Yeah.
It doesn't say.
I know it just says the time, doesn't it?
It just says the
Yeah.
whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or
It just gives
twilight.
you what quarter
Yeah.
of the day it is.
Yeah.
But give the date,
Mhm.
including the year.
Okay, well, she says I've probably been down here about 18 months.
Right.
Wow. The answer there, guys, is that she's been waiting for us.
So,
That's not good.
given what's going on at the moment, here is a good place to be. Unless you've got a specific job to do.
Is she here alone?
I came down with a group of people to help investigate a settlement that had stopped communicating.
And then you
I am the last one left.
Oh.
did you find out why they stopped communicating though?
No. I managed to find the place, but I couldn't figure out how to get in.
Right.
Well,
I
what
think
happened to the
that's-
rest of the party?
Well, one went, oh crap, before we didn't find out what happened to him. Another one said, "Here, look, I'll light up the place," and then he disappeared rather quickly.
Oh, don't do that.
Another one said, "I know what this is," and we never saw him again. Another one said, "This fungus is perfectly edible," and we didn't really see her again after that.
Okay. So
and
litany of rolling ones.
and another one said, "This water's safe to drink." They were correct about that, except something in the water ate her.
The water was fine.
It wasn't the water.
You mentioned that
The
people
flying piranhas.
disappear after eating them off or opening a light, activating a light, or
Yeah.
are you saying that they left no body behind? No,
Well, there was a scream, and then there's generally blood or drag marks or.
So nobody. Yeah.
Something ate it.
Mm.
Speaking of,
Okay. In the time you've been here since, have you seen many other inhabitants?
Well, she tries not to talk to those who she doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fair.
But you've seen them.
I've seen people coming in and out of that wall, but
have you heard them say?
Hold on, in and out of the wall.
yeah. She points at the
Oh,
thing you've identified as the door.
At
Okay.
this point, Calcus will point out that there's a door here. There's a rune on it that we need to decipher in order to get through it. There's also protection runes on it, stopping people from going through if they don't use the exact word. So don't try any magics. Don't try and light up the place. Let's just see if we can figure out the word and say the word.
When she says people, what kind of humanoids? What kind of people?
She says, funny-looking elves,
Right.
funny-looking gnomes, funny-looking dwarves, funny-looking six-armed bipedal creatures.
Funny, haha, or funny?
She says it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Funny. I need treatment.
Okay. Hide the paste.
She looks a little unhinged from being down here for so long.
I can help with that.
But she has managed to live off carrion crawler and fish from the lake.
When these funny people approach the wall, have you heard what they said?
They don't speak, they just touch.
They touch.
And I've touched, nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So maybe it's you've just got to think the word.
And she has no way of seeing what people think.
No,
Yeah.
I.
That would be a talent she would love to have had. It would help her music career greatly.
I actually do have that capacity.
But she wouldn't really want to sing the house down right now because, well,
Yeah.
There's a lot of have to come down.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to presume the pillar is taller than it is wide, which means it's a really freaking big cavern.
I would think we're probably just in this bit here,
Probably.
and then it goes up all this way.
So,
That would be right up a mountain.
Yes.
just my
Which means we've come
first
down a long way.
thought
Yes.
is I could cast detect thoughts on myself. When we could wait for people to come, hide,
Mm.
and then when they come along, I can cast detect thoughts on myself and see what word they use to get in,
Yes.
and then that way we could use it to get in.
Potential.
The question is do we want to go in? I presume we do.
You do need to get forward, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I see the door?
Is it just a single rune on the door, or is it writing on the door?
you see a single rune. Calcris could see writing that is not visible.
Am I able to draw it?
You can technically draw it.
Okay. I will ask Drazzle, if Drazzle is there, is it safe to draw it even if I burn it after I show our other party members what I can see? Like, I won't keep a permanent copy of it?
He looks at you and goes, drawing it will not evoke the magic.
Okay, I don't want to evoke the magic, and I don't want to die, so this sounds like a good way to communicate.
Good choices.
So I will draw a picture of what I can see. So it'll be the, is it a circular door, did you say? Or a circle?
It is a smooth, more oval than circle. But
Okay, yeah. And then I'll do the, is it protective sigils around it, and then the singular one in the middle.
Llewell has dark vision, doesn't he?
Yes.
Then you can definitely see the sigil in the center.
Good.
You just can't see the
writing
sigils.
So it is a society check for you to determine what it is.
Yes.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
you
You get advantage on that.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I presume I don't recognise it.
Rune. Secret.
It looks like an old rune that
Yeah.
you may have a chance of knowing.
Oh, okay. So I could see if I know that he's got a more chance.
Yes.
It's something he studies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Whereas
Yeah.
if he fails, I'll just see on the off chance if
Yeah.
what I remember.
Advantage.
Yes. Almost done. 27.
Okay, looking at it, it is an archaic word in Dwarvish that roughly means stone.
Don't know that roughly is going to
And you did learn the proper pronunciation of it.
Yeah.
It has one here, not two. Not really going to start trying to pronounce words that don't
That's
roll well for me.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
the
some
thing
people
is,
take these jokes for granted.
Thrall knows how to pronounce it. That's all we need.
That's what I was going to say. Is you know how to pronounce it. Most people nowadays wouldn't. It actually predates the current Dwarven language and is not part of the Dwarven language.
Which I can both tell and I'll mention.
Because you know that through some of your study that the current race of dwarves is different to the previous race of dwarves. They are not genetically related in any way.
It's the same as the old dragons and the new ones.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were created by the new race of dwarves were created by the god Durga
Yeah.
from the old dwarves, but he recreated them. He
Yeah. They're
didn't
not recreated,
actually.
not derived from.
They are not genetic descendants.
Yeah. Great.
Which would explain the differences in the workmanship.
Yeah. Because they're different people. They just happen to look the same.
The older dwarves, you know, were not very strict law focused.
Yeah.
They were more natural, so they were closer to the elves than the current dwarves are.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could have
So-
literally created this cavern complex here just for the sake of doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, admittedly, so could I. It would take a while. Yeah.
This may have been one of their strongholds. No one knows where their strongholds were because
Yeah.
Kagia wiped them out.
So
Yeah.
who's Kagia?
The dwarven god.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Thank
He decided he was going to clear things up. Yes, I do actually have Dwarven, so I can go, yes, that's not modern Dwarven in any way, shape or form. But I do know how to pronounce it.
And you found out that the old dwarves have their descendants in the Hollow World.
Of course, because that's what the whole world's for.
Not all races made it there.
Oh, that's true. But it's what it's for. It's just not always used. So yeah, you could have both types of dwarf in the same party if you were in the Hollow World. Which would be a bit weird.
The outside dwarves and the inside dwarves are rarely made.
Yeah, well,
Because,
yeah, but that's the thing. But a party of PCs.
higher PCs can
Different
have
thing.
both.
Yeah.
They can also have an elf who has no connection to the Feywild
Okay.
because they exist in the Hollow World.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Hello, Puss. Come here, Puss.
Thanks.
Little Puss.
So yes, you have read how some of these things are activated. It very
Yeah.
much goes along the prayer to the Dark Father sort of process of supplicate to it, and say the phrase or word in your head,
Yeah.
which is how most of Warlock's powers work in most cases.
Yeah. And particularly with that invocation, I get to trick things. I can persuade it I'm saying this the right way. On top of actually saying it at least mostly the right way.
Hmm.
So I will do exactly that.
Okay,
So I
and
look at the door and then reach out and touch it.
as you touch it, the door seems to not move but dissolve away.
Mm-hmm.
Good check
It
his
just
letter.
fades.
Oh, it doesn't fade. It,
No,
it feels as
just-
if it's just merging into the rock around it.
Oh, okay.
It's not mechanical.
Nice.
It's just like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sort of
It's-
imagine like you've thrown acid on it. It has that
Just
sort
yeah,
of look
dissolve.
of just dissolving away.
yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of like the beginning of one of Robert Heinlein's stories.
And you suspect that if you're in that passageway when it reforms, it will just reform around you.
Yeah. Because that's basically its password.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which means a password would not have worked on here.
Yeah, because it's already one.
Yes.
But yeah, one of Robert Heinlein's stories starts with the door dilated. That's its first sentence. And it's given as the epitome of how to engage someone and give a feel for the setting.
Mm. So with
Doors dilating? God, that's high-tech stuff.
exactly.
That's the setting. In one line.
So I guess
Mm.
Lavelle can magic the door away. So I guess we'll say to
Mm.
Ristia, like, it looks like we're able to go through. I know you're alone. You want to come with us?
She's more than happy to come with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
And if we can, we'll get you out of here as well, because I don't think you'll make it on your own.
Lou, you said
Yeah,
you
she
could-
doesn't. She doesn't think she will either. And what does Kelcrick say?
Lou, you said there was something you could do to help with our friends slightly feeling
Yeah.
unhinged right now. Do
Yes.
you think maybe it's possible she might be more of a help and more
More useful to herself
to herself? That's it.
as
If
well as us.
yeah.
Which is along the lines of restoration.
It is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
hmm.
Because that is what it's for.
It can correct mental
Do
deficiencies.
you need a
Yep.
blanket or something?
No,
I'm just.
Yeah, just looking around. That's all. I'm good.
I was gonna say that's incredibly warm.
It is a
Hoodie.
a blanket hoodie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hoodies. Yeah,
Yes.
it's really cool.
Plus
do
there's
like
like 50,000 blankets around here.
No, I'm okay. I was just looking. So.
Yeah, and Ariadne also gave me this.
Yes.
like it.
Yes.
Only 2 months.
Nice.
No, 1 month late.
Yeah.
No late at all. You gave it to me when you thought I could use it the most.
Yeah, that's fair. That'll do. Yes. The only issue with restoration is the materials for it. Fortunately, I
What are
carry
the
a few
materials?
I was gonna say, do you have enough?
100 GP of diamond dust,
I
which I do have.
I have
I-
a list of things that I've
Yeah.
got. I'm fairly sure I've got that.
Yeah.
Got components for all my spells.
So let some people use their components.
Yeah, no, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
I was just like
Thank you.
making a mental thought through my
Yeah.
checklist of
Mm.
stuff.
Mm.
Which is why at all the markets and stuff I'm buying all sorts of trinkets and saffron and
Yeah.
Besides, trinkets work
Yes.
well as gifts.
yeah.
Yeah. But I have to spend the time to cast it at fifth. Well, I've got to
I'll cast it.
upcast it. Doesn't cost anything extra. Oh, sorry, no. At level 5, it's 100 GP of diamond dust. Below that, it's no cost. But I've got to do this at level 5 because I'm removing a level of strife.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say, it is worthwhile doing this before we set out. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
because her fully sane and capable.
So what was her name?
Probably not
Ristia.
after you just open the portal and we don't know how long it's going to stay open for.
We'll get through to the other side.
Yes, yeah, no, that's
I'm
what
not
I meant.
I'm not going to do it in the
I didn't
way.
mean mid-activity, I just meant once there's
Yeah.
a safe moment.
Okay, you travel through 60-foot of portal.
Yeah.
That's how long the portal is, meaning it takes most people 2 actions to get through,
Yeah.
unless you dash.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's a full move action. So
But dwarves would not make it through on a dash,
No, because they
That's a yeah.
and some humans won't make it through on a dash.
Yes.
Dragon
I
can
am
do
the
that? No, probably not.
Yes.
Dragon could.
Yeah.
I on the other hand can do it in a stroll.
Yeah, Dracula can go through a set with a single action.
Yeah.
While stealth.
Yes, that's right, because you've got the I can do things at full speed stealthy thing.
Okay, so yes, you all make it through, and about a minute after you make it through, it closes almost instantaneously. No warning, just.
Yeah, no, like.
So it's fast enough. There should have been a clap, but there wasn't one.
Oh, you do hear the noise of it shutting. It sounds horrific.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sounded like bones grinding sort of noise.
Oh, great.
Was there any evidence as we're walking through the 50-foot passage of those that didn't quite make it in time?
Well, it would explain why the bottom of it is paved white, with the dust of whatever was crushed inside.
Ground bone. Yeah. So yes, there is. It's the dust you're walking on.
And you hear a single gong echo through the corridor.
Oh.
Right. Well,
Is it an
Yes,
ominous gong or just an
and
announce?
then
Well, it does feel both.
Doorbell.
it's a doorbell.
I wonder if we should have stealthed.
What are we on the side of the portal?
Door closing.
Or we walk into-
Very loud. So yeah, that's all they really need is the noise of the door.
And what were you asking, Jeremy?
What do we walk into? Like in a room? Is it corridor continues? Is
It
it...
is a passageway that seems to spiral up.
Is it vacant of other people?
How wide the passage? Again, we're talking 4 people wide type stuff? Or?
Ranges from probably about 2 people to 6 people wide. And it shows teeth marks on the rock.
Okay. Big teeth marks, I'm presuming.
Well,
Any evidence of traffic?
the floor itself is smooth. So yes, years and centuries and millennia of traffic.
I would suggest then that we want to get to a spot that's possibly a bit wider, like not like a room obviously, but a bit of wider passage.
There
Which
we
you then
are.
want to try and do the time to cure Riskia. And we can find a bit of a spot where we get attacked, we've got a bit of maneuver.
There's no guards or anything like that here. There's no people.
Where did the gong come from?
Magical gong would be my guess.
Or someone hearing the door and going, I'm going to tell people.
Was that the whole thing when you walk into a business and the door goes ding dong?
Yeah.
And you might think it was the closing of the portal. Magic would have alerted the people that the door is closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though you think you could actually have closed it by choice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So imagine you step through and you're being chased.
Yeah.
There's also the element of we don't know whether or not the doorbell actually went off when we opened the portal, because
Well,
that was quite some distance away and it might have happened before the stone
in-
removed.
In this cavern, I think we'd have heard it.
It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like it's a good thing and people might turn up, but I'm wondering if because of the gong there's people here already. So are there anyone around us? Can we see anyone with us?
No, but it does seem to be it seems to be climbing up the stalagmite.
And there
Tight.
doesn't seem to be any kind of places to hide or take cover.
Yeah, there are many outcroppings in the roof that you could
Okay.
probably climb into.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because with that gong, it might be that someone might come to check out what set off that gong, because maybe all the other ones are usually quiet and
Yeah, maybe.
it sounds different
So-
from what we are.
Well, it's a loud noise. Someone has noticed it.
Mm.
We have to take that into account.
So
So the point is there a desire to pause here to be looking at this here, or are we continuing straight through?
I think we need to go somewhere safe before
We-
you do a restoration.
Yeah,
spell.
we keep going. We find somewhere safe
Mm.
that we can either hide or deal with someone turning up in response to the gong.
Yeah, ideally we should have done it before we went in, but
Yeah. But we didn't know it was going to be so much of a noise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll see.
We will continue up the spiral then.
Yes.
Dimmer will actually be aimed to be on the outside spiral, like the inside. It keeps it scattered as much as possible.
Yeah.
So you said it goes up the inside of the spiral?
Well, it seems to be spiraling up into the stalactite.
Into the
Stalactite, yeah.
Okay, right.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, seeing it's probably all the way down to underneath the water.
Mm.
It's a pillar, so it's both a stalactite and a stalagmite.
Technically a column. If
Yes,
you want
it
to,
is a column at
Yes.
this point.
if you want to follow your geology terms,
Yes.
But because they can't see below, they can't tell.
they
Yeah.
can't tell. Yeah.
They may not have reached
Which
the other
implies
way.
that the water is very deep, because that means that the corresponding stalagmite is just as long as the stalactite that comes from the ceiling.
Yes, this actually a scary thought would be there's no actual stalagmite. It's just a stalactite that goes half a mile under the water, which gives you really freaking deep water.
Scary thoughts.
Yes.
Or it's being worn by the water.
Yes, taking into account a really freaking big beastie apparently came from this lake.
And there's
So
teeth
it
marks
has to be
somewhere near the
enormous.
door.
That's it eating
That's
its
way
way
up.
up.
Yes.
Okay, so as you're following it up, you do come
Yeah.
to a hole in the wall that is looking out into the area outside, and you can see that there seems to be a small room here with a ledge overlooking the lake below. At this point, you're about 30 feet up, and you can. You don't think you're above the docks you came in. You think you're on the other side.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any good note that we can see out there?
It is a landing. It has enough space for probably about 20 odd people to stand in.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a small little alcove
Yeah.
off the main thoroughfare.
This is probably safe enough.
Does it look like there's any evidence that this has been used as a staging post or watch point recently?
There is what appears to be some sort of shattered container on the lookout side.
Okay.
And it looks as if it once held some creature inside it.
I was about to ask what sort of container, but I don't think it matters.
How big a container?
It would have been about the size of a person's head.
It's more than an hour past.
No.
So I've still got true sight.
Mhm.
Do I see anything that tells me?
There are no traces of magic here. You can see clearly that it was burst from the inside.
Would this? Are you giving us the
You're
idea?
saying
this-
worse things. Before I'm just like, oh, somebody knocked over a pixie jar, and now you're saying
Whoa.
it broke out.
And it was big.
I don't like
And
that.
it wasn't a pixie.
I don't think you meant it. Because he's
Are you giving us the idea this could be a safe place to do the restoration, or just giving us
Is
the
it
information?
defensible?
It is defensible because you can only be attacked from the tunnel you came in or from the outside of the stalagmite.
Stalactite, which
Yep.
just means if someone wants to attack us, they have to be airborne, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Which
But
is
there's not
fair.
actually any barrier. There's not the door to the tunnel, is there?
There is no
So
door to
that's
the
it.
tunnel, no.
Yeah.
But there is a bit of a passageway, so you've got to move at least 10 feet through a narrow opening to get to the passageway.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
wide enough for the Calcrix to move through.
Yes. Now, if spellcasting was safe, you could do something about that. But
Did Mystara, or did we give time for Mystara to actually pack up her tent and pack up all her belongings?
I would think we
yeah,
had,
we did.
but we just didn't. We
Did
didn't.
we know? I mean, if you want to be them, is probably the point, but
Well, she's going to want her stuff because it's what's been keeping her alive. I'm fine.
presumably, yeah.
She does have her stuff with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though
After
she's
that.
sort of dragging the tent behind her because you did sort of open and move pretty quickly.
We went pretty fast, and that's
Yeah.
why we didn't heal her.
That's why I was surprised we didn't stop to heal her first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Sounds like my everyday. The question is if we go into this passage and Calgrix guards it, did you want to cast Restoration now? Or we pack up the rest of her tent?
Well, it's a long way up the tunnel still, but it's we seem an appropriate place to pause, gather things together, type restoration,
Yes.
try and get more information out of this year as the parts of more description of the funny dwarves and funny gnomes and six-legged funny things.
Well, she refers to the
Uh,
dwarves as hairless.
So,
She
yoga.
she refers to the elves as painted,
Shadow elves.
and she refers to the gnomes as crazy.
Gnomes.
No, crazy for gnomes.
Back in was certainly taken up a guard post
Come with the exact
at the entranceway in that game.
Yeah.
Lonnie will assist with helping to pack up the tent while Luell probably tries to do it.
Yeah. Is the Wi-Fi still active?
It should be.
Sorry, no, I had to do a restart and it's not showing MH guest. Sorry.
It's okay. Yes, because we might get
Well, I
better
just
answers
reactivated
and
if it
more
had failed.
information out of her once the restoration's passed.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because
Yeah.
then she'll be thinking with a clearer mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
She does have a bunch of editable fungi as well as things she calls torch stalks.
Torch stars.
Mm-hmm.
They're burnable fungus.
Burnable fungus, yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
They're a stalk that can be a torch.
So I say she's been there for 18 months and she's
Yeah.
been surviving off fungi and I
Fish.
think you said fish and something else.
Carrion
Carrion
crawlers.
crawlers.
Yeah. Which is moderately impressive. Those things are pretty tough if you're on your own. They're not high level, but they're a pain.
Mm.
Well, she says that she's a bard, not too hard for a bard.
Fair. Yeah.
Not that she can sing them to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, considering they have a paralysis poison, I think it is.
Says yes.
Yeah.
Very useful to use against people.
Yes.
Does make eating them tricky.
I so want to say something right now, but I don't want to go there, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay, this is annoying. Sorry, it's not showing image guest at all. Sorry for interrupting the techie things, but
I'm not seeing it either.
It's disappeared for some reason.
Just jumping between pages and seeing if I can get it to.
Do it see.
I may have been deregistered and not
no.
had it pick up.
Deregistered?
You got to log into the router to activate stuff, and it calls it deregistered when it logs you out.
Sounds really inconvenient.
It's a security thing.
Still, sounds
Yeah,
inconvenient.
maybe it's inconvenient.
A lot of security things are inconvenient, even if needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I feel so smart when I'm the person at my office that like usually does the IT stuff, and then I come here and like I know nothing about computers.
Hey,
Yeah,
I know a huge amount about computers, and I say I'm close to computer illiterate with all the stuff that's out there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
lot of
just-
stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listening to Tom and Jess talk about cybersecurity,
Oh yeah.
I know what they're talking about, but there's
still,
no
like-
way I could follow what they're actually doing.
It should
And
be
I'm
working
pretty
now.
knowledgeable on that stuff.
It should
And
be.
yeah.
It should be working. Okay, so yes,
What's up?
while you're resting
Oh,
up,
there we go.
you do see what appears to be a bat floating around the caverns
So on the inside?
outside the stalagmite.
Yep.
Tight.
Cool.
I'll keep
Just a
saying the wrong
singular
one.
bat.
Just a singular bat. Looks like a fruit bat.
Okay,
Okay.
interesting. Normal sized.
Normal sized.
Okay. By itself.
A bat. Yeah, but a fruit bat.
Either it's gonna be
They
something really
fruit.
scary or something bad's gonna happen to it.
They're not insect
Though
eaters.
from through Calcrix's eyes, it is a elven male flapping his wings.
It's true sight.
There's a man with wings. He kind of looks like you, but he's not as pretty. And he's
He
yeah.
looks like a bat
Yes.
because I can see a bat.
It's not a bat. It is.
Yeah.
Like you, but he has wings, and
He went that.
Is it actually wings or is he using a magic eye?
You can tell it looks like he's a fruit bat.
But
I
do
know, but I'm asking-
But from your perspective, you can actually tell that inside the fruit bat is a
just an elf, no wings.
is an elf doing the flapping motions.
Oh,
It's not
so
actually
he
wings.
doesn't have wings. He's just like flapping with his arms.
All
To make it look like he's flying because he looks like a fruit bat while using a flight spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From your perspective, you believe it's shape change,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
which literally means that she's seeing the true form doing what the animal form is doing.
Right. So
Yeah.
he is actually functioning a bat right at the moment.
So-
You're seeing what's in the bat.
Yes.
Right. No, that's fair.
Yes.
So.
Do I think he's seen us?
Probably not, but heard you most definitely.
Yeah.
I can talk low.
You have been studying animals and stuff, and most bats deal by echolocation and have fantastic hearing, and probably hear you by your location, not by what you said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter
So-
if I talked or not. He'd know.
I was gonna say
Fruit-
you
fruit
could
bats
literally
don't, but
stand there
Yeah.
completely quiet. He could hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Fruit bats don't use echolocation. However, they do have really good hearing. So yeah.
But
Yeah.
going from general location of what
Yeah.
most people think of bats,
Yeah.
and when people
Well-
shape change, they don't necessarily shape change
Yeah.
into the exact thing.
Well-
They can make it look like something else.
Yeah. The other thing too is we've been talking normally until we noticed he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So easily audible.
He's easily
Yeah.
noticed by now.
He knows we're there. And he's an elf. He's probably seen us too.
I was gonna say,
I was gonna say, is this a point where I go, do you drink tea or coffee?
Yeah, that's about right.
I was gonna say at this stage he's probably heard you talk about him, so
Yeah.
you go,
Definitely time for
go
coffee.
for it. You know any elves that can shape change?
Okay, so
That's not actually a spell I've got.
you see
Yeah.
the bat shimmer into a male elf. Not pretty. Definitely not pretty. It's his dumpster. But he has long hair,
Yeah.
almost like dreadlocks. But dreadlocks would be maintained compared to what he has.
So he's got
White person dreadlocks. Got it.
I was going to say, and Stinky Man. But Calcrix will not say Stinky Man out loud.
Wearing very nice looking clothing that looked like it was nice clothing maybe 100 years ago.
yeah.
Right.
His tatters and his
Oh,
bedraggled
it's not tattered. It's just dirty and worn.
right.
And out of
Unwashed. Sorry, out of character, Jeremy?
From elven perspective, it's still
Okay, and out of fashion.
from
Out
human
of fashion.
perspective, it's out of fashion. From elven perspective, it's still in fashion.
Yeah, well,
Fashion doesn't change as fast for the elves.
not by a long shot.
And he does the superhero landing in the alcove.
Okay.
I bow and greet him. 3 types of elven, just to make sure. And shadow talk.
He does speak the surface elves as well as the underground elves. He doesn't look to be shadow elf. He has the look of fire style elf.
Okay.
Which style?
So
Which you recognise him at all?
which means he's high elf surface.
And has a lot of symbology of druids on him.
Yeah, I'm not.
Very much similar to your character's fiance.
Yes.
Looks like the same order.
Thought
Right.
Drew were based off the elf.
Which you recognise him?
Yeah.
She does not. She
Okay.
didn't come down with him.
No.
Right.
Does the world
Hmm?
introduce or?
Well, I don't know who he is, but I do. As I said, I greet him in multiple languages. He responds in surface elf.
And
So
subterranean elf
yeah,
and the shadow tongue.
yeah,
He basically responds in kind of each of your languages.
that's fair. So I've introduced myself. He
Bienvenidos.
responds.
His name is Sludis Valdier.
I almost felt like you said a slut is, but I'm pretty sure that's not what you
That's
said.
not quite what he said. No.
So a slut is Valbier.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Don't blame me
Something
for
like
the bad spelling and my mispronunciations of people's
How's it
names.
spelled? Just so
Sladis.
Sladis. Okay. Yeah.
But he's an elf, so he puts different emphasis on things.
Yes, he puts a different emphasis on
It's
syllables.
more amusing the way I heard it, but
Well, of
I'm
course it is.
grateful it isn't.
Yeah, also valid.
And he offers to help you in whatever's brought you down to this abyss.
Yeah.
Why? Sense motive?
Mm.
Where does sense motive come under?
It goes under perception.
No.
I think
No.
sense motive may actually be a skill.
I don't think it's a skill I got.
Insight. Insight would be
Yeah.
the sense motive.
Yeah.
Insight is.
I do have proficiency in insight.
Yeah.
There you go.
I do want to insight this.
That's what you. Yes. The insight is what you want to use.
Yes.
That is what it's for.
I'm gonna roll you and hope I don't regret it. I regret it. I'm turning over one of my tokens.
Okay.
Not much better, but I guess. If that is indeed the 4, I think it is. It is the 4, I think it is. So I will know nothing probably, even with proficiency.
You get plus 8.
Pardon?
Plus 8. I believe.
Yeah, so it's like 12, so I don't. I'm still.
He does look slightly unhinged.
So he's been down.
I'm hoping that you guys have better insight than I do. I'm going to put it that way.
Jack, you're not watching from the entrance way area, and obviously you may not be seeing it by him, I don't know. But yeah, this thing, he got very good insight.
Yeah.
So from Drachnimar's view of the guy does look very wild looking, as if he's a noble gone to pasture.
Yeah, he needs to.
Like a noble from above ground.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. He's fire elf and he speaks surface elf.
Okay,
Fire
okay. So it's also sort of been
elf.
this is got a bit of an interpretation because he's not getting the full advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, fire elf is.
Because he's not the advice. So,
Fire elf is just basically standing high elf on the surface,
yeah.
and he's dressed that way as well.
Just looks a little crazy.
He looks a little crazy because he's been down here for however long.
We're going to meet a lot of these crazy people, I think.
Yes, we're going to go through a lot of diamond dust.
He does ask if you have faced off against the demons yet.
No,
It sounds like we're going to collect a party, and it's probably going to be worth our while.
what
But
type of demons?
He paused for a moment, knowing all of them.
We did face some on the surface, not down here
I was going to say you might need some of my diamond dust after all.
yet.
The barriers between the darkness and the dark are no longer there.
Oh, yeah. Yes, a lot of the
That sounds bad.
a lot of the bound portals on the surface are no longer bound.
There are no portals here, just dark.
Yeah.
The demon lords walk amongst them.
Fun.
Do we know who the demon lords are?
Various gods of the setting.
Barry, Cecil. Actually, I think one of the Immortals is called Cecil.
Is it these demons that have stopped the trade at this pillar?
No.
Is everyone going mad?
What happened?
They didn't stop the trade.
Who stopped the trade?
They ate the people.
They ate the people.
And the trade just stopped because
Trade,
there wasn't
because-
any
because there
traders.
wasn't any
They didn't
Right.
care about the trade.
No.
Yeah,
They don't care about anything.
they just wanted to
They
eat.
just eat and eat and eat and eat.
How
and
So it sounds
eat.
like that we're going to have to defeat a few of these demon
How
lords.
many
or send
demon
them back.
Need
lords
some help.
have you seen?
I haven't seen a demon lord. I still talk.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How many demon lords have others spoke about?
No one speaks of the demon lords once they see them.
That's
Because
right.
they get eaten.
How do you know about the demon lords?
He's heard the crunching.
He has heard munchy munchy.
Yeah. I think it's time for some rituals.
Yeah.
I can do an insight on him because I've even got an expertise now, so too. But if I'm going to do the ritual, I don't think there's much point.
No. And it sounds like if we have to defeat, banish, overcome these demon lords, to get the trade post open again, or whatever it is that we need to do, it's not going to hurt to have a high elf, druid, fire elf guy on our side.
Yes.
I gather that's what the rest of the group are okay with?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We are going to need as many people saved along the way to
Yeah.
help us defeat the demons.
Yes. Plus, of course, these being notable NPCs, they can be picked up as companions too.
Mm.
Do you want your own bard to tell your story?
There's a companion.
At the mention of companion, he gives Luella a wink.
Hey.
I think you found yourself one.
Yes.
Yeah.
He likes his pretty boys.
Wow, your
Well,
hair is
and he's a
so
druid. You want an animal companion.
This is player to
there's-
player. You may
this-
have to cast illusion on him.
Yeah, I was about to say, so does Laurel, but yeah.
Unfortunately, he does not qualify.
This is what this is the illusion
That's
stuff.
what the illusion's for. Although, actually, if he's a really good druid, he could shapeshift into a good-looking elf.
That's true.
I think you've got to be a certain build of druid to do that though.
That you can
Yeah,
learn to
because
turn into other
often
people.
you can't necessarily transform into human form or humanoid form. You
Yeah.
can't possibly
Uh,
ape.
Druids.
You can train to turn into other people, but it's required training. It's not
Yeah.
something that's naturally learned.
Yeah, he could have spent time. He could have spent downtime doing it. I learned how to turn into Clarice.
The dragons learn how to do this sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Calcrix looks up and whistles.
we have seen you humanoid form.
Calcrix doesn't like.
No, specific humans.
Yeah. Then of course there's the changeling druid.
They're always fun.
Yes.
Alright, so you're casting
Um,
restoration.
I'm going to do restoration, and it's going to be on the bard first.
Yep.
Because she was first.
Yep.
So yes.
Are we looking to pause after this process?
I believe so.
Like the main session, the 3
So how about we finish the game off with you
Yeah.
casting restoration and deal with the after effects of it next session, as you,
Yep.
with the assumption that it's all done correctly
There we go.
Yes.
and it all works.
Yes.
And wavy because it's between sessions.
Okay.
Whether it's done as
We do it
ritual or not.
downtime.
I take the extra time to do it right.
That works for me.
Yes.
So do you want to add anything to the end credits before we go to end credits?
Just for continuing on, whenever there's rest time, it's appropriate and she's not on watch. Calcrix will pull out her jewel crafting kit, pull out some gems, and work on a particular project.
Mhm.
Is that where
Sounds
you're
good.
working on something and then just snack? Chip off that bit and snack.
That's where she starts making the 5-headed dragon.
Yeah.
Well, while she's working on it, she has pulled out a certain 3-headed crystal dragon present that she's got because it's
Right.
inspired. So
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, going to end credits.
Yeah.